Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are watching me from. All right, this is your show that I've just begun. I'm your host, Jake, the moderator, and we have another great one happening just now. Karibu sana wewe ambaye unajiunga nami. Welcome to this fantastic show happening here at Kenya News League. I'm your host, Jake, the moderator, and we are here. Hapa ndipo, hapa ni nyumbani. Karibu sana. Karibu kwa hii channel mpya, channel ambao ndio imejilaunch na inajilaunch na moto na inajilaunch kwa hisani yako wewe kutuulizia. Tuko wapi? Ndio hawa. Sisi tuko hapa Kenya News Link. Karibuni sana. Mambo vipi mlipo? Karibuni kwa hii show. Tunayo show fiti ambayo ndio tu imeanza. Welcome ladies and gentlemen. Alright, nijuze unanitazama ukiwa wapi? Karibu sana, wajuze wawili watatu. Zaidi ya yote karibisha wawili kwa kusubscribe na kushare hii video kwa wengi sana. Karibu kwa sababu hii ni channel yako, channel mbichi kabisa hapo YouTube, inaitwa Kenya News Link. Hii channel tunaifanyia nini? Tunaisubscribea na tunapata content fiti tu sana. Nijuze unanitazama ukiwa wapi? Like hii video hapo kwa Facebook, like hii video hapo kwa YouTube, na wacha tukawa na show moja fiti. Namwona Nicholas Cheriot asha like video, asante sana. Kajose Jos ame like hii video, thank you very much. Moses Ouma, I see you. Nicholas Cheriot, I see you, asante kwa kulike hii video. Duncan Bashir Jr, I see you. Karibuni sana wawili ama watatu ambao wanatujoin, karibuni sana. Wengi mumeingia, naona mmejaja. Pea hii video like, pea hii video like, pea hii video like, pea hii video a thumbs up, and zaidi ya yote follow us on Facebook and on Twitter and on all social media platforms. Karibuni sana. Naona Duncan Kimboya ameshatuma ujumbe. Tuma ujumbe wako hapo tu kwa comment section. Let us have a nice conversation here at Kenya News Link. Here we keep it real, we keep it simple for you so that you can be able to comprehend and understand. Naona wengi tayari washaanza kutuma ujumbe. Namuona jamaa ananiambia ako mahali panaitwa Detroit, Michigan, US. Karibu sana kwa show, watu wa US, welcome to this show, and I am glad you could join us. Thank you very much. Samuel Lotome, I see you. Welcome to this fantastic show. This is Kenya News Link, and I'm your host, Jakes, the moderator. We have a great one lined up for you. We look at political issues happening in our country. We look at the moves happening here and there. Where I'm telling you. All right, Kenya, as I told you, is a place where things zina change. Ukidhani umesikia kila kitu, kesho another thing happens. All right. So we have a great show lined up for you. Hapo kwa comment section tuma tu ujumbe, tueleze maoni yako ni yapi. Raila Odinga ndo huyo anaelekea AU. What do you make of it? What happens to us? Do we remain orphans? Do we have someone able to replace him? Tutaangalia hayo na mengi ambayo yana make headlines. Pia kuhusu the retreat in Naivasha. All right, so keep it here at Kenya News Link. All right, I see you're saying I would love to come to Kenya. Karibu sana Kenya. Kelly unasema lazima Raila apate. Aha, okay, lazima Raila apate hiyo kazi. Okay, asante sana. Samuel Lotome unasema tuko pamoja my brother. Asante sana Samuel Lotome. From wherever you're watching us, join us. Let us have a candid conversation. Namuona Daniel Oduor ame like hii video. Martin Simiu ame like hii video. Kelly asante sana. Duncan, I see you. All right, thank you very much for liking the video. Thank you very much for being part of Kenya News Link. Bernard Karaoke unasema wacha tu aende, Kenya itulie. Maoni yako ni yapi? What do you make of his move? Is this something you support? We have seen this uniting both Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. All right, there are guys who are saying it's okay that he may go. We saw Kalonzo Musyoka issue a statement. We saw other Azimio brigade supporting the move from Raila Odinga to move to AU as the chair. And equally, we have seen UDA through its leadership, of course, the Secretary General, agreeing to that move. What do you make of it? That is what we'll be looking at. Equally, we'll be looking at the retreat in Naivasha. I'm telling you, it's a retreat and a half. there watu wamekusanyika wengi ambao wana discuss vitu mingi sana. One of the things that was discussed today was of course devolution. We'll be looking at that and what it means. Okay, the shilling imeanza kushika joto the shilling imeanza kugain and we are now trading at 141 145 thereabout, from as high as 160 something a week or two ago. So wanasema kuna stabilize, but what do you think? Wewe kama mwananchi unaona kama stability na come? William Ruto is priding himself, the president, that we ni kana kwamba sasa uchumi imeanza kustabilize. I'll be playing what the CS for Treasury said, and equally many other guys who have commented on this matter. But channel mpya, channel fiti, channel yako ndo hiyo sasa imeanza. Karibuni sana wadau, wacha tufanye vitu hapa jinsi ambavyo tunavyojua. Hapa ndipo unapata vitu kali, vitu kama hii ambayo tunaianzia siku ya leo. This is the grand launch of Kenya News Link hapo YouTube. All right, so kimbia hapo YouTube kuwa wa kwanza kusubscribe hapo kwa Kenya News Link. Kimbia hapo YouTube na ukuwe wa kwanza kusubscribe hapo kwa Kenya News Link. All right, asante wale ambao wanatujoin kwa Facebook. Naona maoni yenu yanaingia haraka na kwa upesi, naziona tu sana. Bernard Karaoke, I see you. I see Samuel Atome, I see Daniel Kemboi, I see Suleiman Abdi Mohammed, I see you. Asante sana Daniel Odwor kwa kuwa part of this show. Welcome ladies and gentlemen. This is your channel and of course I'm your host, none other than Jakes the moderator. Hapa ni home, hapa tutoki, hapa tuko nyumbani. Karibu sana home. This is Kenya News Link. Karibu member, karibu tu sana, karibu tu sana. Tafuta hii channel hapo Facebook, hapo YouTube, subscribe, kuwa part of this new child. Huyu amezaliwa tu leo, amezaliwa sasa hivi, na show ya kwanza yake ndo hii. Show ya kwanza ya huyu mwana mpya, show yake ya kwanza ndo hiyo. Show yake ya kwanza. Alright, anakuanzishia vipi? Alright, alright, karibu sana kwa hii show yako ambayo imeanza. Na imeanza na kasi, na imeanza na moto, na imeanza na joto ambayo ndo hii. Ninao wengi ambao wamejiunga nami. Ninaye Alex Media Kondani, ninaye bwana Mr. G, wamejaja tayari kumkaribisha huyu mtoto mgeni kwa channel. Alright, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Tujuze unatutazama ukiwa wapi, zaidi ya yote tukaribishe hewani. We are the newest channel and we ask you to come. Let's be part of one beautiful channel. Okay, karibuni sana, karibuni member. Hapa tupo, hapa ndipo, hapa ni kwenyu nyumbani, hapa mtapenda. Alright, namuona Derek Omondi ako ndani. Kelly anasema I can barely say that William Ruto aka Zakayo anafanya kazi nzuri lakini sawa. Alright, I am glad that you are here. Asante sana, asante sana. Wow, beautiful gentlemen, handsome guys, wonderful people. Karibuni nyumbani. Welcome to Kenya News Link. Channel yenyu ndo hii. Karibuni. I salute you guys. Welcome gentlemen. This is your show and of course none other than your host Jakes the moderator hapa home. Hi, how are you Alex? Karibu sana.
I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm exhilarated, I'm perplexed. I can use all the adjectives that are in the world to welcome the baby that we have so laboriously built. Thank you, Jess.
Wow, the birthing of Kenya News Link happens here, and you are lucky, ladies and gentlemen, to be the first one to launch this channel. All right, karibu sana wewe ambaye unatutazama. Hii ni channel mpya kabisa, of course kwa hisani ya Mtembei ambaye kama kawa amekuwa msaada mkubwa sana. So we are very grateful to you Mtembei, and equally now Kenya News Link, the very new baby in town. Hey, the newest baby in town. Sijui kama umemuona. All right, so let's have a good show. Mr. G, vipi? Karibu sana.
Asante sana Jex, happy to see Mr. Alex. Again,
Mhm.
nikiona Alex, I remember those days some few
Aha.
months ago when we used to have some hours, more than 8 hours on a call tukiongea kuhusu stories zetu. So I'm so
Aha.
happy to see him.
Aha.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to our new
Aha.
channel.
Happy birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Tunao show fiti, tunao show kali. We have more guests coming, and we will have a good time here at Kenya Newslink. And we purpose to give you nothing but quality, nothing but the very, very best. All right. Let me begin with you, Mr. Alex. With the move of Raila Odinga to vie for AU chairmanship, what do you make of it? Are we left to be orphans? Before we even play any clip, let me hear your first opening remarks.
Let me say this, that
Mm-hmm.
it was a controversial issue that
Mm-hmm.
when it was broadcast,
Mm-hmm.
we diehards of Raila Odinga said it was propaganda. Let me acknowledge that from our part.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't phantom something like that could
Mm-hmm.
just pop up without the knowledge of our great people of Azimio.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that the silence from Baba that day was awful.
Mm-hmm.
You could feel it go through the lungs and the bloodstreams. And we had
Mm-hmm.
one gentleman who was in a different channel who challenged us. Let us think behind the box. Let's say that
Mm-hmm.
he went to AU. How would you
Mm-hmm.
feel? And we
Yes, yes.
refused that. We stuck our feet in
Mm-hmm.
the cement and said nothing like that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Little did we know the next day we are going
Mm-hmm.
to be hit by that news.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, when it hit us first, I remembered Bob Marley's song that says, hit me with some music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when music hits you, you feel no pain. But this
Mm-hmm.
was not music, it was not poet. This was the
Mm-hmm.
saddest news that
Mm-hmm.
at that particular time
Mm-hmm.
I could agree with. It
Yes,
took
yes.
me some hours of self reflection, and I found myself that I am attached to Baba in a way that is not right. And henceforth, I did ask myself, one person has to have his journey, though it might be cholesterol, though, in its whatever much it may be, you know, with a lot of galaxies, accolades, trophies. It reaches a time as an individual, you have to make your own individual, apart from politics, your own decision. And
Mm-hmm.
Papa did explain to us that, look, I have made many consultations. And
Mm-hmm.
looking back, when Mudavadi and Eliud Owalo went to visit him in Bondo when a certain church was being opened, that is when
Mm-hmm.
Mudavadi started saying that, you know, some news are coming that will shock you. Things are not the way that you think. I think
Mm-hmm.
by that time they had already known. So might it be that was the what Mudavadi used to say? What, the tsunami? I think this was the tsunami that Mudavadi
Mm-hmm.
has been talking all along.
Mm-hmm.
Si ile yake. So I think it came to me as a tsunami. But henceforth, I have agreed to it, Jex. Look, there is no better place for Raila to serve as a leader than AU, because the guy is a true Pan-Africanist. And that gives me a liberty of saying that if honestly Ruto is up to helping Raila be the AUC chair. You know, there's a difference between African Union chair, which is a rotation of presidency 1 year, and many people are confusing
Mm-hmm.
that, and the AUC, African Union Commission, which is a 4-year term, and most of the people go for 2-year terms, because I don't know who went for 1-year term. Maybe you can help me in the panel, but that's
Mm-hmm.
an executive seat that has a tenure.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I can say that it is good
Mm-hmm.
for him. to go to the global Africa, because the work he had started as the special envoy for infrastructure of linking the whole of Africa with what? With highways and byways, with bridges, and not only that, the work that he has done to create one of the biggest hydroelectric power in Congo. If that can come into fruition, I agree that let him go there and do the great work so that also Kenya can be on the global point that it has accomplished something in Africa. Thank you.
All right, fantastic, beautiful opening remarks. Mr. G, what do you make of Baba's exit? Now that he's leaving, where are ODM? Let's begin from where he resides directly. ODM, what happens to ODM? Is this the end of a political party that has really dominated the country ever since 2005?
No, I can't say that it's the end, because what I know, there will be a challenge. There will be a challenge,
Yes.
but we cannot say that is the end. Yeah, we cannot say that is the end.
Yeah.
But what I can say, I agree with everything Alex amesema, that exactly he qualifies to be the chairman of the AU. But now my worries is what is happening with these other people, this UDA team, kwa sababu recently, after Baba saying that ako anaenda kusimamia that seat, we saw them coming out na wakawa na praise Baba ni kama somebody ambaye ametoka from nowhere, somebody ambaye ametoka from Mars, mtu ambaye hajakuwa Kenya, because I've seen him wanampraise like a king, wanampraise like somebody ambaye hajakuwa visible in the country. Unapata wanasema is the person ambaye amesaidia Kenya. So if at all wanajua is the person ambaye amesaidia Kenya, how kama sio anamuita kwa mzee wa vitandawili, mzee wa mawe, mzee wa fujo. Sasa hiyo unaona hiyo vitu yote imetoka, so they are praising him ni kama mtu ambaye hajakuwa Kenya kabisa. Me, I think I'm worried this team, kwa sababu you remember Ruto is a cunning man, and this is a man ambaye ametudanganya for a very long time. Unakumbuka alituambia kwa yeye aliweka Baba, siji alipatia Baba hiyo kiti ya nini ya the prime minister, akuja akasema yeye amepatia Uhuru kiti ya presidency. So I'm looking at this thing na naona vinatajipiga kifua, nasikia niko worried sana na vinatajipiga, kwa sababu look at this point, Baba akipata kiti, he will come out gun blazing akisema kwa yeye amepatia Baba hiyo kiti, you see. Alafu Baba akikosa kiti, still pia kuna scenario ambayo ameziweka, kuna zile abuse ambayo ameweka ambayo atatumia kutupiga rungu, and we are in a fix. But I can agree with Alex that Baba should go and work, yeah. But now that sijui kama unaelewa what I'm trying to say, kale kanini ambao kako hapo katikati, those guys wanapeleka mbio sana. Yeah, kuna kauoga mahali, because this guy he's a cunning man, ni mtu ambaye wetu trust.
From where you sit, what will it mean for Baba to move out of Kenya and of course now represent Africa? What will it mean in our country as far as politics is concerned? Is this the beginning of easy time for one William Ruto, ama ndio sasa kutakuwa kugumu, because everyone will be working very hard to succeed Raila Odinga?
I think we know kuna ile factor ya Baba. Baba is known as an igma man, an igma. That fact of igma bado iko pale. So when Baba is around, we know that some people who are enigma, some people who wanakosa ku express themselves, some people wanakosa even to make decisions wakati Baba yuko, because wanategemea kufanya kila kitu. He's the king, he's the everything. Sasa you see, wakati atakuwa anajitoa, I think kuna space ambayo itakuwa created whereby people will come out now to start thinking of themselves. Watakuwa nangoja Baba paka awasimame. Some of we people from ODM, kuna vitu zingine ambazo ina happen, unapata kitu kifanyika, sisi tunasema bora Baba ameshasoma, sisi hakuna haja kusoma, bora Baba amesoma. This is a Baba ambaye akikwambia ruka, hawezi mwambia unaruka mpaka wapi. Wewe bora amesema ruka, wewe before maliza sentence huko juu tayari unaruka, you see. So some of people from ODM walikuwa hata hawasomi, kwa sababu kwa nasema Baba akishasoma hiyo iko sawa. So a time will come whereby Baba is not seen, unaona. Sasa is them to make decision, hawategemei Baba tena. But remember what I told you mwanzoni nikikwambia kutakuwa na challenge. There will be a challenge, because tukisema tunabaki na mtu kama Kalonzo is one guy ambaye still sijaona kama ako na ile stamina ya kuongoza. He has no stamina ile ya kupambana na Ruto, and that's why unapata hata Ruto akisema kila mahali, akisema mahali anasema mtu kama huyu nini Kalonzo, huyu nitapita asubuhi. He knows this is a weak guy. So obviously wakati baba anajitoa kwa scene, kutakuwa na challenge kiasi ambayo ita-affect pia nini, ita-affect pia Azimio, kwa sababu Azimio is a team ambayo imekusanyishwa na baba. And remember, baba factor, the ODM factor ndio Azimio. You see, the other teams pia wako, the other hizo chama zingine ziko, but the strongest one ni baba, ndio imesikika sana. ODM ndio inasikika sana. The moment baba atajitoa, kutakuwa na somehow hakutakuwa na that thing. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, Alex, let me ask you something. When you look at what is about to happen, all right, the political landscape is about to change as we know it. Kenyans, are they ready for a Baba's exit? Of course, he's not a stone that he should live forever, but are we ready for his exit, either through AU or any other means? But now that he's using that route, are Kenyans ready? Are we ready politically? Even in any aspect, are we ready? Because he has really championed for a lot in our country, okay? As much as we are yet to reward him with a presidency, but are we ready for his exit?
I can say that has been the conundrum within, or the quagmire within the whole country. Those when wanateseka wanaita baba kwa maandamano sijui nini wapi, lakini they can't vote for him, and those who are not able to do what, to bear his silence while he's in active politics. And then there's another group that is so sycophantic, yenye wakiulizwa as Mr. G asema jump, watauliza how high, naelewa. So all these categories are nursing their bruises right now, and they are nursing them in a way that I came to understand that it's so easy kukosana sasa hivi in this country. I was in a forum whereby our brothers from Mount Kenya, wao wanasema baba should not do anything other than kupigania nchi. And if you try to explain anything than that, wanasema baba has bowed down, baba is a cowardice. Now this other group I say, whereby they say, look, at some point nothing exists in a vacuum, okay? Which means baba, I think it's the right time to exit, because then he will be able to mentor from behind. And I've seen for the first time Kalonzo working with Sifuna in a cohesive manner, which I never thought they could, okay? I've seen Wamalwa harnessing with who? With Kalonzo and going to Meru, okay? I've seen Kalonzo come out of the cocoon of Ukambani, okay? So I think marvelous things are going to come out. It's like, for example, I'll give my own example. When my father died, I sat down and I asked, because I'm the only son, hii kitu nitaweza kweli? You know, I had to pray hard because my father's shoes were too hard to fill. But within 2 years, I was able to feel and manage everything that he had and be able to propel in a manner that I could not comprehend. If he was still there, I would never have done that. That mentality that if your father is still there, you cannot decide to kufanya nini, kugawa mali yake. It is a good idea, but it's also a bad idea. So I think Baba, and then there is the sycophantic group, ambayo whatever Baba does, they don't care as long as it's Baba who has done it. So it's not affected at all. Wao ni kama Mr. G, hao wataenda tu na Baba kwenda AU.
Okay.
Kuna watu kama Mr. Kamau, SK Kamau, wako na shida, Baba must remain here. Na kuna wale they resonate wanasema, you know, so these 2-3 groups have started now fighting. It is not UDA now fighting us. Now we are fighting each other. Our ideologies are doing what? Are conflicting.
Are fighting each other.
Naelewa?
Yes,
and it's so volatile. It's so it comes with a lot of polarity and toxicity, ambayo unapata tu if you are not careful, mashati zitashikwa. But I will urge people to look beyond that and have a cathedral mindset. That look, there is time and season for everything. Okay? We are not more. We are mortal. We are not immortal. Okay? The only thing that is immortal is the creature that is higher than us, in whom we believe, and which is for me is the Trinity. So, like South Africa, we must allow the Mandela moment to bypass, because they held on to it too much, and Mandela eventually went and left a bruising country, an ANC that is not surviving. The ESCOM and all these issues that are going in South Africa are because they did not prepare for the vacuum that was coming. Kenyans, can we deal with the vacuum of the exit of Baba? That's now the problem. It is not Kalonzo coming in and Kalonzo is wait or not. We may say all these things, lakini siku tutaenda debe, utapigia UDA. With all your complaints, utapigia Kalonzo. So let us agree that Kalonzo cannot fit the shoes of Baba. Kalonzo is a man of himself. You know, in a better word, Kalonzo is a chameleon. Okay, Watamola. We must accept the way he is. That's his brand. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Now, Mr. J, I come to you with this exit. What does it even mean for you as a supporter and a diehard of Raila Odinga? What does it even mean to you? How do you look at it? Is it the beginning of the end for you? Do you now need to look for another candidate, another person to support? Inakuacha aje now that Raila won't be as active as we know him to be? He has served this country for over several decades and doing his best. Many of the scandals that we know of, some of them were kind of brought to our attention through this one man. Many of the great stuff that many celebrate, they attribute it to him. All right. You have a reason why you support him. Now that he won't be politically active, you as Mr. G, a diehard, a supporter, what do you make of it? How have you realigned yourself? How are you looking at all this? Because life has to go on. What do you plan to do? How are you looking at the whole story?
Exactly, life has to go on. But the truth is that we need to come to a conclusion that is true. A time will come whereby Baba will not be around. You see, you need to watch that story AU, but a time will come where Baba will not be around. So what next? I think we have to come to a realization that things has to happen. But before these things happen, I think ni lazima tuamue kuwa tuwe na ile hati ya kukubali. You know, some of us, we have never seen people who can fit into the shoes of Baba.
Yes.
I have seen people crying wakisema wanasema sijui ati Baba ati nani atachukua, sijui ati Babu Wino atachukua, ati sijui Joho. In fact, I saw Joho just juzi wakati Baba amekuja hapa Kongoya, ndio Joho amejitokeza akiongea kuhusu anataka kuwa president. I've seen people saying that those people will take. Those people cannot fit into the shoes of Baba. You see, so it is a hard task, but although we have to kubali, lazima tutakubali kwa sababu now we cannot force things that we may not happen. Baba has tried almost 5 times. He has tried and he has won all of them. Remember 07. Tukaibiwa live mbele, tukaibiwa mpaka jamaa kaapishwa usiku, na hiyo ikaenda kabisa. 2013 ikakuja, 2017 ikakuja, wakanalify. Still bado Baba amekosa kupata that chance. 2022 tulikuwa mpaka na president mnakuwa amekalia kiti, but still could not get it. So Baba has tried, but kwa sababu ya that I can say it is ignorance. I don't know why. Kwa sababu when we come to reality, we know that Baba is competent for the seat of presidency. In fact, tungeona a change. You cannot compare Baba with this guy ambaye amekalia Simba and Ruto, because Ruto is a person who anapenda uongo kila wakati. Is a man who will promise you something today, but tomorrow and deliver something that is opposite from what he promised you. You see, so Baba has always been competent on that work ambaye angeza kudeliver into Kenyans. Hatuwezi compare na any other person. So it is hard to find somebody who can fit into his shoe. On this issue of Baba exiting politics, I think on my side, I feel like it will affect me at least in a way. Sina ile stamina ya kusema I have somebody who I can trust the way I trusted Baba. Because on my side, I believe I wanted Baba also to be on the ballot on the 2027. Why? Because he still have that chance. He still have that stamina. He's a man who still have the followers. Yeah. Ni Baba ambaye bado he attracted masses. Hata sahi wakati alikuwa anaongea before this issue of AU ikuje, there's a time ambayo aliongea akasema in the next election, in the next coming election, watu ndo wataamua ambao ni delegates wakiamua kwa yeye anaendelea ataendelea. So I felt better because I saw hata tukienda kwa delegates Baba akiwa amesimama pale, the other guys wamesimama pale, still delegates watachukua Baba because Baba has that follower. He's a magnet ambaye anavuta watu kwake. He's a man ambaye he has with the courage and everything, he has everything that it takes for a leader to take in. But the problem is kuwa we always take incompetency with the competency, alafu tunashindwa kudifferentiate, whereby you find people mtu ambaye hata hafai kuwa a leader, somebody ambaye hana that qualities of being a leader, but just because of that overconfidence in him tunafikia that is enough kuonyesha kuwa he's competent. To me, on Baba exit, there is a problem that I really need to work on it for me to be strong, because I still expected Baba to remain around, at least to fight for Kenyans, even though watu wamekataa kumpatia, although ameshinda, watu wamempatia kura, ni wakora, the corrupt leaders, the corrupt people ambao walikuwa pale mbele ndio wamekataa kupatia Baba leadership. And that's why tumefika hapa whereby Baba is exiting before apate ile kitu ambayo amepigania. Akaenda kwa jela, ameumia mpaka sasa akisema haiwezi maliza dakika 2 bila kuvuta machozi because of the pain amepitia, mateso ambayo amepitia akipigania wa Kenya, but they cannot appreciate him, you see. Sasa hivi wanajifanya kuwa muona ni mtu mzuri mpaka wanamfanya kama king, and yet amekuwa all around akimtaja majina ambayo hata hatuwezi taja. So to me, I think it is a gap. Yeah, it is a gap that it will take time.
Okay. Interesting. Alex, what does it mean to you as a supporter now? How have you realigned your thoughts? Because it's happening. It hasn't happened, but it will happen. In the event that he wins, how are you looking at the whole thing?
I mean, from my experience on how I watched him speak on how Africa should be connected, and his capacity to remember the connectivity, not through by reading or a prompter, from what? These things.
Teleprompter.
Yeah, teleprompter. It gave me a grasp and a scope of a man who loves this country and the African agenda. So what I will say is, if we go that route of when we are just kidogo, somebody can speak before that.
All right, Mr. G, when you look at this, Baba began so well by preparing people. We had serious, massive recruitment. We had serious. We saw him move all around. Was he preparing his troop that you need to join ODM? You need to be in ODM with or without my presence. You got what it takes. With these serious strategies that he had to recruit new members in the last final days, what do you make of it? Was it like an exit strategy from him?
Okay, I'm not sure if I can say it was an exit strategy, because in politics nothing happens.
By chance.
Nothing just happens in politics. Everything is plans. Yeah, nothing happens by chance. Yeah, what I'm trying to say ni kuwa I don't know how imetokea mpaka ikawa it is as if imetoka abrupt. Some of us we never expected it. I remember even the day ambao Baba alitangaza kuwa he'll be vying for the chairmanship seat. We had I think it is a senator from Homa Bay. Not Homa Bay, but in those areas, the areas of Homa Bay, the other areas, yeah, who aliulizwa kwa media, akaulizwa kwa hii report ya Baba kuvai for this seat itafanyika vipi. The guy alisema kuwa kitu kama hiyo ni propaganda, haitakuwa. The same day, hiyo ilikuwa asubuhi, but the same day saa 5 saa 6 Baba akatangaza kuwa is true, he's vying for the seat. So some of us, he was an ODM senator. Yeah, he was an ODM senator. So some of us from ODM, we never expected such thing to happen at such a time. You see, so it came as a shock on our side. Yeah, it came as a shock. But for him, another kuwa, he prepared for it because tumeona akiwa anatembea the whole country, the whole counties, mobilizing and akiendelea kuingiza watu kwa chama yake ambayo ni chama ya ODM. And wakati alikuwa anafanya hivyo, the strategy is that he wanted to take more people to his chama so that when they sit down as Azimio kwa table, at least he has some people, he has something to bring on the table. Akisema kuwa he has a lot, he has something that he can negotiate with. You see, he never told us that maybe he wanted to depart ama awache vacuum. No, but to me, I think it came as a surprise. I don't know if he really knew it ama it was a surprise for him, because tunaona pia wakati ambaye anasema he was only with the Obasanjo, hakuwa na mtu yote from ODM ama hakuwa na mtu yote from Azimio ama any place, but it is just that guy from the former president Obasanjo ndiye alikuwa na yeye, na hapo Ndabala akasema if people are ready to take him, he's ready for the seat. You see, so to me it appears as if it was a shock. Yeah, we did not expect that announcement. Yeah.
Okay. I see wengi wanajiunga nasi. Namuona Mohamed Edge Ige, I think, anasema no one would fit Baba's shoes, it is gigantic. Asante sana. Namuona Joseph Onyango Atiga anasema mungeniweka hapo mimi pia. Wapi hapo? All right, Naxfab TV, asante sana, I see you. Unasema amazing and profound conversation, asante sana. Namwona Kelly unasema bro, today is my birthday. I only need your wishes and tell people to follow me and kindly Name is Kelly. Happy birthday to you. Karibu sana. And watu wadau, fuateni huyo jamaa, give him that birthday present ame request. Lakini pia leo pia ni siku ya kuzaliwa ama ya kulaunch ama ya kuanzisha channel fiti hapo YouTube, channel ambayo imekukujia kwa hisani yako wewe kutuulizia kwa wingi, na channel yako ndo hii channel fiti, channel mpya. Kelly anapo celebrate birthday, pia sisi tunajilaunch kama Kenya News Link, na karibu member. Hapa ni home kwa kila mtu. Hii show ni show yako wewe ambaye unatutazama. Show yako haina upande wowote, haina mtu wowote ambaye tunapigia upatu. Hii ni show yako wewe ambaye unatutazama. Welcome to Kenya News Link. This is your home of such great content. Asante sana. All right. Happy birthday to you, Kelly. Alex, I think you're back now. You are answering the question, what happens to you as a supporter? And equally, there's another question I've thrown to Mr. G. With the exit of Baba, and we saw him seriously recruiting new members, was it a game plan also on his end? Maybe he knew what he will do, and equally he chose to create new followers, new members, and have people subscribe to ODM even in his exit, that he leaves behind a very strong ODM family, and that even as he moves on to a new endeavor where he has left back home a strong party, a strong people who will be able to take over from where he has left. What do you make of all those last tactics from Raila Odinga, and to the moment that he announced his candidature for AU chairman, and equally you as a follower, what becomes of you?
Honestly, if I said what Baba knew or what he didn't know, I'll be preempting and I think being mendacious. But there are things that can lead us to that answer. There was a funeral that was there, not this Saturday that we passed, but last Saturday, of a man called Awino. And almost all the leadership of ODM went there. And in that leadership, Oburu Odinga, his brother, said, if I, Oburu, am as young and vibrant like this, how about this little boy that is so young to me? Kwani yeye miaka yake ndio inawatisha ama the guy, the way he functions? Daily activity, daily livings. So that showed me even Oburu did not understand what was going on. Okay? We had been bruised by the brother-in-law, funeral of brother. I don't even know why hizi vitu zote zilitokea kwa matanga. We come from Kalonzo, brother-in-law, whereby Baba had to do something called crowd management. Mutula brought in some toxic speech when he said, mpende musipende wakati huu. Unaelewa? And after that, Eugene had also come and tried the crowd that Kalonzo tafadhali tupe mzoto one more chance, and he was booed badly. So when Baba came, he kind of controlled the crowd and spoke well of Kalonzo. And for me, he didn't endorse Kalonzo. He just said Kalonzo has a right also to do what? But what did the media do? It went berserk and said Baba has done what?
Has
Baba
endorsed
did not even endorse Joho. Baba said, kijana yangu hapa pia yeye amesema, and if you saw what Joho told his people, mimi siasa ya Mombasa nimeacha. Siasa yangu hii wakati hata pia mimi nitapigania. Naelewa? So those statements kind of tell me that Baba was giving a signal, but nobody understood, especially when he fronted who? Joho within Azimio. Okay? I think by that time the verdict had come out and Baba knew where he's moving to. But that Friday, that time when they had a funeral of a brother-in-law of Musyoka, it seems like nobody understood. When they had the funeral of Awino, nobody understood. But when he came to Mombasa, and I don't know what was it intentionally coming to Mombasa to tell the people that, look, I'm exiting. But somehow he kind of fronted who? He fronted Kalonzo too, yani Joho too. That tells me that he was preparing us to connect the dots to form the straight line, which we did not. Okay? So there was that week, katikati, it seems like there was a decision. Okay? The die had been cast and everything was moving forward. So Baba coming in between kutuambia, when we thought it was propaganda from who? From UDA, I think by that time people should have noticed that, Baba's presence and dealings at that time had changed. Now, another thing that tells me that Baba understood very well that what was going on, Olusegun Obasanjo, when he came to Kenya, he first to Murang to meet the president. Before that, Mwangi, the Equity chair, had met Raila in Mombasa. So when Baba comes out to say there were, there were enough consultation, he has done wide consultation. Now that's when you add the dots to form the lines that what? Mwangi being the Equity Mwangi represented the Mount Kenya Foundation and the tycoons that come from one village. Ruto going to Murang'a was not for a rally. Okay? He went there to meet the tycoons plus Olusegun Obasanjo to harmonize on how to do what? To declare Baba's fronting for AUC. So what I can say is this. That consultation cannot be done with me and Mr. G, Amawe moderators. When such kind of negotiations are being done, we are left out, unfortunately. When Mandamano is needed, that's where we come in and the Mount Kenya Foundation are left. That is the nature of the politics, of bourgeoisie and whatever, okay? So it's not of the void that Baba knew from long time ago. That is my conclusion. But Baba wanted it to be fronted in a way that because the member country must front the candidate. Okay? At that particular time, Ruto na Raila ni maji na damu. So somebody has to come in between. Okay? And that became Olusegun Obasanjo. So they were waiting for a mediator. But for Baba knowing, he knew. But who could front him if it was not the president of the Republic of Kenya? You see what the problem was? So they had to resolve that first. And I think they did resolve, immediately it was resolved because the campaigns have already started. Na ndugu zetu kutoka Tanzania wameanza uchokozi, ati wanataka kuweka Kikwete, go resolve your issue of 300 billion of oil scams that is there. Tuambie kabisa, let them solve issue ya fertilizer, issue ya sijui ni dollars, na issue ya electricity. Right now they don't have electricity, they don't even have dollars. Na huyu mwanamke alikuwa na to criticize hapa juzi. So Kikwete hakuna mahali anaenda. Suluhu anataka uchokozi. Suluhu must support Raila very well. Yeye ndiye alikuja na Olusegun Obasanjo, wakaenda hapo Mombasa kwa kina Mr. G, wakaenda kuongea kwa nini secretly. Why is she turning his behind to us? Kikwete hawezi. Kikwete for 8 years alikuwa katika nini, katika president ya Tanzania. Aliharibu kila kitu to a point that the delegates of CCM had to be done 4 times. Mara ya tatu ndio wakasema aje, si hata Magufuli anaweza, ni mweupe kama pamba. Sasa nani anatosha? Because they couldn't find anybody. Because Lowassa was sick and tired. So sasa ndio tunaona watu ati kutoka South Africa, ati Uhuru Kenyatta. Niliona watu wa Mount Kenya wanaanza uchokozi zingine that does not even make sense. Sasa to front nani in a certain meeting. Sasa to front nani. I mean, that hatred that inaingia. But then I saw some people like my sister Millicent Omanga supported it. And because Ruto must front and give it to the AU. Otherwise, there's no way Raila can be fronted. Okay.
Yeah,
so, thank you.
All right. All right. I'll be coming to you guys with another twist of questions. But Wadau, welcome to Kenya Newslink. This is your new channel, a channel that today has launched itself and allowed you to be part of. All right. Karibu sana wewe ambao unajiunga nasi kwa sababu hii ndio channel ambayo imeanza tu leo. Imeanza tu leo. Of course, there are other videos that have been there, but today is the very first time we are doing it afresh. Okay, we are doing it like this. We are doing it for you like this. Okay, karibu sana member. Now we are talking about Raila's move to AU. Now there are things that are required for one to be in AU. I want us to listen to this first clip I'm about to play, and then we will continue with the discussion happening here at Kenya Newslink. Okay, now what does it require for you to be an AU?
Who's interested for the position of AU Commission Chairperson and Deputy Chairperson to start sending their applications. Among the academic requirements is a PhD or a master's degree in either law, international relations, economics, or political science. And as our senior political affairs reporter Chris Dairo tells us, the academic requirements seem to have opened a debate on the credentials of Azimio leader Raila Odinga, who's eyeing this top position.
The election of the next chairperson and the deputy chair of the African Union Commission is exactly 1 year away. But lobbying through shuttle diplomacy in all the 54 member states has already started in earnest. The African Union Commission has, through its website, posted a vacancy for the position of chairperson and the vice chairperson, as well as the academic requirements for those interested in the position. For one to qualify, he or she must possess at least a master's degree in law, international relations, economics, diplomacy management, business administration, political science, and social sciences, or a PhD in law, political science, international relations, or business management. When it comes to experience, one should have not less than 20 years of relevant professional international experience, at least 10 years having served in progressive senior leadership roles. Back home, Kenya, through the Kenya Kwanza administration, has already agreed to front Azimio leader Raila Odinga for the top job in the continent. However, this has also opened debate on the education qualifications of the Azimio leader. In the run-up to the 2022 general election, President William Ruto questioned the academic credentials of Raila Odinga.
Kama kuna mtu ambaye hajulikani makaratasi yake ni ule candidate wa president wa Azimio. Makaratasi yake haijulikani imetoka kwa university gani. Huyo candidate wenu wa Azimio ni mtu ambaye hana classmate hata moja. Ni mtu ambaye hakuna mtu anasema alikuwa lecturer yake. Ni mtu ambaye hajulikani alisomea university gani.
But Azimio leader Raila Odinga is already on record that he proceeded to Germany after receiving a scholarship in 1965 to study at the Technical College of Magdeburg, now part of the Eindhoven University, and graduated.
Akatukwambia anaitwa Mumbi Ngaru. Nikafanya utafiti nikapata huyo Ngaru ambaye ni bwana yake ni jamaa tulisoma naye Ujerumani. Injinia Ngaru ndiye yuko pale. Tulisoma naye huko Ujerumani. Kaka yake mkubwa Mburu Miano ndiye alinikaribisha nikiwa mtoto mdogo huko Ujerumani. Yeye vile vile alisoma uhandisi.
Another hurdle is a political move that a section of Mount Kenya leaders are trying to push, that instead of Raila, the president should have considered nominating retired President Uhuru Kenyatta for the job.
Nimesikia kuna hii chairman wa AU. Na nasikia labda nchi sijui inapigia debe aliyekuwa anawania kiti cha urais Raila Odinga. Mimi nikafikiria maneno jana nikaona yani mnataka tupatie huyu na Uhuru wetu wako hapa.
But majority of the Kenya Kwanza leadership seems to have settled on Raila.
The former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in his rightful place as a Kenyan. If he has offered himself for an international job, the people of Kenya are obligated to support Raila Odinga as a Kenyan. He's not going to the AU as leader of ODM.
The Azimio leader, who is currently in Germany, is expected to tour various African countries to lobby for the lucrative position, whose budget is $600 million per annum, with the help of President William Ruto. Chris Dairu, KTN News, Nairobi.
That's the big question. The paper question has now come back that one of the requirements, ladies and gentlemen, ni very high requirements. We are talking of papers that are serious, high papers, PhD, high qualifications thereabout. Alex, this is a difficult one. Does Baba have the qualification?
You know, exposure is another knowledge that if you don't have, you can be
but
devoid
it's not a
of
qualification
the
to have to be.
Just help me. Just help me to talk through what.
Sorry, Swala, go ahead.
Yeah. So when I was in India, to get into commerce degree, you had to go through a junior technical school, and then you go ranks. Nikama, I don't know if you know this. If you do your CPA and you finish, then you are a CPA K. You don't have to go to do a degree. You can go master's direct, if you know that. If you do your higher national diploma, you don't have to go for a degree. The higher national diploma can be viewed in some countries as a master's. And that's what Wanyiva Ndeti, the governor for Machakos, had difficult, the IBC had difficult understanding how some countries operate when it comes to some professional jobs. You cannot go to medicine in this country that I am without doing biology, physics, all these sciences of some sort before you are admitted to medicine. Okay? And
and so on and so forth. So different countries work in different ways. In India, you could not go for engineering directly some years back. You had to go through a technical school, which when you finish level 1, because there's something called +2, and many people will understand what +2 is, because that +2 is if you finished Form 4 and never went to Form 6, some country will never admit you in their what? In their system. And one of those countries is Uganda. You have to go through their Form 5 and Form 6. India the same. So when you get your admission in Andiko +2, so you don't understand what's +2 until you get there, that you can go do your what? Your Form 5 and Form 6. Or if you're able to take the test and pass, now you're put in the higher national diploma, which is a degree in itself.
Okay.
Okay. So look, you know, sometimes I wonder when people hear that you went to a technological school. You know, I'm like, MIT inaitwanga aje? Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's a technical school. It's a technical university. So let not people like Miguna twist your mind here, musidanganyike. One of the best schools in the world, MIT. It is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And it became what it is from technical work, technical inaitwanga nini, when you graduate with a trade, it's that when you graduate with a trade, they're called trades. Okay, so for instance, you can go to the army, they teach you a lot, but they don't give you a degree or a certificate. So when you come out here, instead of going back to school again, you can do something called CLEP certification, college level examination program, which is as good as what you learn. If you pass that CLEP, you are given all the credits. So you don't have to go to everything you ever knew. So you go to the core courses that make you graduate. So this issue of qualification, it's either here or not. Well, the social sciences that I see here are part and parcel of what we all do in college. Okay? So, and I saw what African Union told Ruto, and now it's when I'm understanding it. African Union told Ruto, go do some reforms that do no longer, hold water. And I think that is part of what they are going to reform, that you can't just put categories of all these people here, that they are the only ones who are qualified. Many banks you go to Kenya, people who are managers are people who had engineer degrees, but they went and did what? Masters in business administration. So let us see where they will come to. But saying that Raila never went to school the way Ruto say, those were campaigns. If you bring campaigns to a reality, you are going to fall into a big hole. And I think Ruto looks back and regrets why he said that.
All right. Interesting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Eugene, I see you. Asante kwa ujumbe wako. Unasema lakini mandugu zetu wa Central wanatuangusha ile mbaya. Eugene, kindly explain what you mean. I see hii jina ni tricky kusoma, but I'll just show it up for you to see it. I think ni baby wrong or something like that. Asante sana. Jamaa kutoka Bomet anajita Chesembe Benson anasema Babu Wino to take over. All right. Asante sana. Eddie Mohammed, I think I saw you. Asante sana. Thank you. Wengi ambao mnatujoin. Derek Omondi, I see you. And many of you who are joining us live here at Kenya Newslink. All right. I see Mr. G has just stepped out, but I want to come to this. With all these requirements, don't you think it's now time that probably Baba will be put to task to prove all these credentials?
You're right on that. And I think you can't be you cannot be admitted to vie for presidency if those credentials are not there. More especially him being on the wrong side of history to every other candidate when he vies. I think they can stop him easily. So I think your education is your education. You don't have to jump on fruit tops and then you say that I got a master's degree. I mean, if you are educated, you are educated. And if you are not smart, you are not smart.
Correct.
If you are stupid, you are stupid. So, I mean, you can see how the man, speaks eloquently, how he carries himself, and the way he has handled himself politically for the last 30 years to be who he is. It requires both wisdom, knowledge, and education. The guy is always ahead of many of us on how he does his things. So that's not a man you can question that does not have educational credentials. You can look at Chesa very well and understand he does not have. You can look at kijana wetu Joho, hata kama G atamtetea hapo. The guy, I don't know vile alipata degree. I mean, there is no way Joho kulapa. Utaangalia ndugu yetu Sonko, ndio walipata, lakini hatujui vile walipata. And it reaches a point we mwenyewe tu unasema wacha tu nimtetee kama mtu wa ODM, but ikifika kwa makaratasi unanyamaza kabisa because you don't want to saturate education.
Yes.
So for me, I say look at those three things. Kuweka pepa zake IBC, how the man has carried himself over 30 years since his father died, and be able to maneuver and have some of the smartest aides ever ambao Ruto amepoach sahi. Thirdly, I mean, look other things like the way he carries his speeches. What sahi, at some point we keep going down, and let us not mock old age because we are all going there. You may have that fantasy of mocking old age right now because you are what? You are youthful, but nature will catch up with you. So I believe the guy is Garnet. To my part, it is a confirmation. The same way I cannot deny that Ruto has a degree, but the PhD I can question it here and there, but I cannot confirm it because whether I like it or not, the guy went to school Nairobi University and everybody knows it. This is ingine tunapiga tu siasa because ni siasa. But when facts come and siasa is divorced from things, you gotta come to your reality.
Okay, beautiful. I want to invite you equally to join us in the studio. It's not difficult. Link ambao nakutumia hapo ni link inakuleta moja kwa moja hadi kwa show. Ni link inakuleta moja hadi kwa show. Unafanya vipi? Kupitia link ambao umetumiwa hapo na Kenya News Link, na hapo ambapo umetujoin through hiyo link inakuleta stream yetu. Ukifika stream yetu, asha mic, asha camera, alafu na click enter, unakuwa part of this great conversation. With me in studio, I'm having Mr. Alex and Mr. G, and equally in the comment section I have many joining us. Asante sana. Wewe pia ambao una like hii video, thank you so much. Ramathan Salim, asante kwa kulike hii video. Chesembe Benson, thank you for liking the video. Stephen Gore, asante sana kwa kulike hii video. Boss Bori, asante sana. Asante Derek Omondi for liking the video. Kitsa Kithi, asante sana kwa kulike hii video. Namuona Daniel Odwor amelike hii video. Thank you very, very much. I see Geoffrey Ruto ametuma ujumbe and I think I'm reflecting it right now. Thank you very much for being part of this. And equally, we invite you to subscribe to Kenya News Link. Let this be your #1 channel, even as it launches its shows for you on YouTube. Kindly subscribe to Kenya News Link and enjoy very lengthy and nice conversations and nice shows. Huko na utapata very nice shows ambazo zitakuwa zinakufikia. All right, we continue with the conversation here at Kenya News Link, and we make it so topical for you so that you may equally follow through. Now, we are asking ourselves that with the qualifications required for one to be an AU chairperson, is Raila Odinga qualified? Mr. G, I see you're back. Let me ask you this directly. Is Raila qualified for AU in terms of his credentials?
Yeah, to me, I think Mr. Raila qualifies us for the chairmanship. Kwa sababu, you know, the same way Alex explained, you know, on that time, those period of time ambao kina Raila alikuwa anasoma, you know, some of these universities, they were not there. Ilikuwa mpaka uanze na Polytechnic, kama what Raila studied akiwa Germany. In fact, hata leo amekuwa pale kwa hiyo shule. There is a place where you start with as a Polytechnic, but it depends also with the course that you take. Kwa sababu ukiona kama hapa, they're talking about masters in law and masters in sioni vizuri, I have a problem with seeing small things, you know, small letters, yeah, and economy. Yeah, but Baba, as much as nimeona hata Ruto pale anaongea akisema kuwa not the president but Ruto the guy ambaye kwa comment section anasema maybe Baba may not be having the genuine credential, but now Baba has been around for more than 10 years, for more than 20 years vying for this presidential election. If at all alikuwa na fake documents, credentials, sangekuwa ameshikwa sahi, sangekuwa amepeleka kotini. How comes he's still there? Last time kulikuwa na same issue. Hata in fact you have played a clip whereby Ruto alikuwa anasema kuwa Baba hana makaratasi. How comes Baba presented his papers na akawa qualified to vie for the president of Kenya? So you know, sometimes ni propaganda ya watu kuharibia watu jina. You know, some people kama the UDA guy ambayo ni Ruto, me I don't believe in him. Because always nimemwona ni kama mtu ambaye anapenda uongo and is a person ambaye anapenda propaganda sana. So when he talks about Baba, anasema Baba hana makaratasi and yet walienda kila mtu alikuwa anapeleka karatasi zake. You see what happened to Sakaja. Sakaja alishindwa kupata karatasi, ikabidi akimbia enda chukue fake paper kule ni Uganda akaleta. Odo alikataa kutuambia kama ni fake ama si fake, baki alikimbia akachukua papers from Uganda. How comes Baba hakuwa nini? Hakuulizwa maswali? How comes he was not questioned? If at all alikuwa hana genuine papers. So these people wacha propaganda mingi. Baba has papers. He qualifies, and the way nini Alex amekwambia, you know, in our nation, in fact here in Kenya, go to even banks, utapata in a bank somebody works as a tail in a bank and yet ako na certificate amount tofauti kabisa na the job ambao he's doing, and these things happens in Kenya. Although kwa AU naona it is specific wamesema category fulani, but I am sure Baba haizi sema ana qualify if at all anajua hana hizo karatasi. So to me I know he qualifies for that job.
All right, fantastic. Bernard Karaoke, I see you. Uko ndani, karibu sana. Minding my business. Uko ndani, asante sana. Samuel Latome, I see you. Asante. Daniel Kemboi, I see you. Thank you very much. Suleiman Abdi Mohammed, I see you. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. And equally, we really appreciate all your sentiments and comments coming through here at Kenya News Link. Equally, we like and appreciate all the likings that are happening hapo kwa YouTube na hapo pia kwa Facebook. Kimbia hapo YouTube, subscribe to one new channel that imeanza leo. Hii channel yako imeanza leo. Hakikisha subscribe na ndio uweze kupata hizi show kwa wingi. Subscribe to Kenya News Link. Okay, Alex, I come to you, part B of that question. When you look at the qualifications needed, let's take, for example, he has the qualifications, but equally he needs the support of other states, the 54 of them. And as you have heard it, is that lobbying has begun. We have had serious challenges with our neighbors. Case in point, Uganda. Case in point, Tanzania. Uganda has taken us to court. One time our planes were denied landing on Tanzanian soil. Case in point, at times we mocked the Rwandanese president. We have had serious rubbing with our neighbors. Those are our neighbors. Let's not even go to the rest of the 54 countries. Will we have difficulty in lobbying for Raila's candidature in AU?
It's going to be a tall order. It's going to be an uphill task in many ways that I wouldn't want to say openly here, because right now we have a corporate issue as a country that we cannot start passing polarity here. But the way we are current now, you may not divorce yourself from the government when it comes to African Union. We are what we are, whatever the president is doing. That is our character. What Ruto does and says in platforms, that is Kenyan's character. So we cannot divorce ourselves from Ruto and say, that is Ruto, that is not my president. When it comes to African Union, they look as a country. Is it going in the right direction? Is it prospering? Can it be an example to Africa? What policies are they putting in measure to mitigate some of these things we want to mitigate in Africa? What developments are they doing? Are they able to bring corruption down? If you can't bring corruption down of your country, you are more corrupt than Nigeria. Then what are you left with? That's the reputational issue. So it's going to be a tall order for us. Secondly, our neighbors are fronting Sakaja, not Sakaja, Kikwete, for no apparent reason, just because they have seen internal issues. Inajizima peke yake, najaribu kufungua. So because they are capitalizing on the internal issue, I don't know who you senator wa Kiambu. I mean, the guy is just usually peleka ubongo vacation, anything that comes to Raila. He is just, sasa, where does Uhuru come from? Kijana yetu. What? I almost said a bad word here. What the heck is that? Where do you come from, kijana yetu? I mean, you can say that in a national politics. How do you start saying kijana yetu at Addis Ababa? I mean, I think some people needs to be put in committee, ama manyani, for a while. Because the reputation of Kenya is dipping down. We have gone to tribal even when we have a seat to win. Do you know that's how we can lose that seat easily? So for me, it's going to be a tall order because of what is happening internally and also externally, the reputation that we have had. And our reputation is based on the agitation that the AUC chair is supposed to do to curb what? Corruption. How much is corruption in Kenya? You know the answer. Also, infrastructures. How much infrastructures have been built for the last 1 year? You know the answer. To push for better healthcare in Africa. What healthcare do we have if we are closing? Your closest place that gets you to take your own children, War Memorial Hospital, nil. So some of these things are going to affect us. And then people are going to blame Raila. But our reputation is being looked into, investigated thoroughly. And that is why I say it's going to be a tall order on our side. Thank you.
All right. Mr. G, I want to come to you with this other part. With the broken relationship, or rather not that sweet, between us and our neighbors, will it be difficult for Raila to lobby other countries to have him? You remember Amina Mohammed was in the same position in 2017. Unfortunately, she didn't really make it. And then we cannot say we were in bad situation with our neighbors. Now that we are facing some challenges with them, what do you make of it? Raila, does he have an easy time? Of course, Raila is not Amina Mohammed, but what do you make of him with his bid? Will it sail through?
Okay, it's true that Raila is not Amina Mohammed, and the qualities that Raila has, I think he can sail through, but I really agree with Alex that there is a factor, there's something that is happening around. Look at the moment. Right now, tunaambiwa kwa Uganda, the Yoweri Museveni and Suluhu wana support the other guy ambaye ni huyo Kikwete. Now in Kenya we have a guy ambaye ni President Ruto ambaye anasema na support Raila, but again there's another narrative whereby it's coming from Central Kenya, wanasema wanataka Uhuru Kenyatta. And another thing ni kuwa the relationship that tumekuwa nayo between Ruto and these other countries, our neighboring countries, utapata the relationship haijakuwa mzuri. There's a time ambao in fact I don't know it is in Tanzania where tulipelekwa kotini ama in which country tulipelekwa kotini for the first time. Kenya jaipelekwa kotini, and remember Uganda. Yeah, in Uganda, yeah, for the first time haijaikuwa na issue kama hiyo. Alafu another thing, look at the functions ambazo zimekuwa happen those other years, wakati Uhuru alikuwa, wakati moja alikuwa nani could not miss, mtu kama Museveni could not miss, but look at what happened juzi. Hata nini mwenye hizi kuja huyu wa Uganda Museveni haizi kuja, so that shows that there's something, there's disconnect katikati ambayo inaonyesha kuwa the relationship is not right, is not quite good. Alafu another thing, when we focus on the ile function ambayo ilikuwa it was last month ama the other month, whereby Ruto alikuwa amedanganya watu kuwa watu wanafaa watu wakienda nje ya country huwa wanawekwa kwa basi moja, wanawekwa kama makuku, wanawekwa kama makondoo na sukuma, ambao sasa inafika wakati watu president wasi wanaenda kule kwa sababu anaibishwa, wakienda kule wanafaa wao akituma mtu mmoja ambaye anakuwa representative. So when a time came when we had a similar meeting, a similar function, tunapata yeye peke yake ndo alijipata pale na president of Zimbabwe, the only two of them, and yet yeye si atiendo the leader ambaye anafaa na ametumwa pale ku represent, but alifika vipi pale? Kwa sababu is a double speak person, mtu ambaye haizi simama na mambo yake na his stand on the word that he speaks. Is a guy ambaye hajakuwa na a right connection, a right relationship with the other presidents in our continent. So ikifika mahali pa lobbying and everything that will take place, I think it will be a hard task for Baba, even though Baba has a leeway na venye huwa anafanya kazi yake. Is a man ambaye he knows how to maneuver kwa mambo ambayo ni magumu. Unaweza ona situation inaonekana kuwa ni ngumu sana kwako, but kwake anaweza pita. We cannot dispute that, but what I know is that because of that relationship and everything, lazima kutakuwa na a bit of challenge. But another thing also, look at what is happening. Hii story ya Uhuru, story ya Uhuru imetoka wapi? Because Uhuru, in fact, Uhuru is in Azimio. You see, this guy is in Azimio, and is a leader in Azimio, and Baba is also a leader in Azimio. How comes wanataka kuleta that confusion? What is really happening? You know, sometimes, okay, lazima tuongee tu kweli, even though we are brothers and sisters in Central Kenya, but some of these people wako na bitterness with Raila. Like the senator ambaye kwa anaongea pale, ukiona unaona ni kama he has something, kuna chuki fulani yako nayo na Raila. And I saw another pastor pia alikuwa anaongea kwa, it was just a media show like this one, but alipoulizwa swali ya Baba na qualification and everything and what he's going to do in AU, he's a pastor. Unajua what he said? Niliona bitterness kwake na akasema kuwa Baba haoni kama Baba anaenda kudeliver, kwa sababu wanarate Baba kuwa mtu wa maandamano. Wanaona ni kama pia atapeleka maandamano kule. So you ask yourself, Baba atapeleka vipi maandamano kule? You see, kuna tu that bitterness na ile upumbavu fulani ambao watu wengine wako nayo, ile chuki wanajaribu kuportray mbele ya watu kuharibia Baba sifa. Ndiye tuna Baba is a leader, haizi peleka vitu ambao hazieleweki kule. In fact, Baba akifanya hata maandamano hapa Kenya, is not that he's doing it kwa sababu anapenda, no, he's doing it is in our constitution. Si ati anafanya dhambi, but there's something ambayo inamfanya mpaka anafanya hiyo kitu ambayo anafanya kule. Haizi fanya vitu kama hizo kwa sababu si ati kuna mali atafanya difanyike kitu kama maandamano. But that bitterness of these people, some of them, not all, because we have brothers there ambao ni marafiki zetu and they support Baba very well, but a few of them ambao kuna that bitterness, ndio unaona vitu kama hizo zinatokezea, because they will never see anything good from Baba. Kila kitu ambao anaona tu mtu ambaye ni mbaya, ni mtu ambaye hafai, mtu ambaye haezi, because the pastor say that Baba kuna kitu anaenda kufanya pale, because he has never delivered anything in Kenya. That is what the pastor say. You know, sometimes pia our pastors, wacha tunache nisiongee vitu zingine.
All right. Now, Raila has served as in charge of infrastructure and all for AU. Will that experience help him even get more points, or the ability to convince the 54 states, including Kenya itself, because he has to William Ruto has to vote for him, and he has to endorse his candidate, and has to equally lobby many to have him succeed as the chair. Do you see his past experience coming into play here, and maybe probably putting him in front of other candidates who might be equally lobbying for that chair, Mr. Alex?
I think that is quite obvious that once your feet has been in the AU, I think it's a difficult subject, but let us not evade it.
Mm-hmm.
The culture of AU is a culture of corruption, deep corruption, and a lot of money comes to AU from EU. And you saw Raila meet the certain group of funders of African Union for a retreat in Germany. You could almost tell that they are supporting him. They are giving. Nothing in politics happens out of accident. So there are signs that will show you. And when those pictures come, look at how they are. You see, like Trump, we knew when Trump has a red tie, he's a happy man. When he has a blue tie, things are not okay. So your dressing can almost tell.
Okay.
The way you dress in politics as a president, it passes a message if you don't know. When you saw the red ties and the black suits and Wanasalimian and Uhuru, it meant things were happy. When you started seeing mostly the African lingeria in Uhuru, things had gone south. Okay? And you could see that thing going deeper and deeper. And we didn't understand what is going on, but they themselves understood. So we could only preempt. So Raila, having been an envoy before, he made lots of friends. And one of the friends was Olusegun Obasanjo. But Olusegun Obasanjo and Raila, it goes to his father. Way far. When I was a young man, we ran to Kibuye just to see Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of what? Of the former military ruler of Nigeria, who had actually done what? Who had come to Kenya, and he drinking uji with the calabash in Kibuye market. We didn't know what it meant, but we just went to look at them. So when Olusegun Obasanjo come to speak to Ruto, he's in the capacity of let us front Raila as this, because the only way is the country to front him. Raila does not front himself. Raila cannot go to Uganda to be fronted. The protocol is the country fronts him. And once he is fronted, that is when. So when I look at the act of Olusegun Obasanjo, it tells me that there was wide consultation between Olusegun Obasanjo with the Nigerian President Tinubu, who we don't like, but we need his vote. Okay? Obviously, we need his vote, and other stakeholders. Now, how many commissioners do we have within the AUC? They say it's 7. Okay? How many envoys do we have? We have for infrastructure, we have for health, we have for diplomacy, we have for military. Okay? So these are people Raila has worked with. Okay? And they come from different countries. And obviously, they did like the work of Raila until, now sasa tuseme tuache propaganda hapa, until Ruto went to Addis Ababa to stop that job, because he was making Raila very popular. So we can say that Ruto fired Raila. Saa hii hatupigi siasa ya Kenya, tunapiga international siasa. Unaelewa? And once he did that, you saw Raila exit the AU seat, and that was it. But the legacy that he left behind is larger than life. And whoever saw the meticulousness and the stellarness of this man might desire to see that kind of leadership in AU. Okay? And that is why Ichungwa is telling his people. The guy, you know, some people think, and that is the highest form of thinking, that Raila is going to AU as an ODM leader. That's what they are telling their people. Can you see the joke of the century? At an ODM in a place, and people are buying it. People are buying that Raila is going there as ODM and anaenda kuleta maandamano, and people are buying it, yes. Fortunately, it doesn't lie on the people, okay, who are illiterate or permanent semi-illiterate. It lies on people who are educated. How better than Kenya represent the continent? So I agree with you. He's one foot on AUC, another feet on what? On Kenya political scenario that is giving Ruto sleepless nights. It's a good factor and a positive factor for him.
Okay.
Because Ruto, there's nothing good as Baba exiting the what? The local politics. And I hope you are going to bring it later. I hope you are going to sequence, because I would love to reach that area.
Yeah. Now we are headed there. Mr. G, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on something on that issue, Baba, if we can succeed on getting that seat of AU. You know, there's another scenario, the situation whereby tunaona Ruto kuna post ambayo amepewa na AU. That post, now he's the president of Kenya from Kenya, na amepewa post in AU. And here we have Baba also vying for another post, which is though higher than that one. So can also that thing affect? Because me, I'm looking at it as if it may cause some issue, kwa sababu they look at us and say, hawa ni wa Kenya, yeti mtu wao mmoja ashapewa, president wao ameshapewa, how comes tena lazima tupatie mwingine? See, at least we look for another person. And yet kumbuka sahi kuna hii issue ambayo imetokezea ya kina Kikwete wanataka kuleta, which means wanaweza endelea kupropose na iendelee ifanyike mpaka waweze kufika kwa hiyo seat. So me, I'm looking at it as if itakuwa a hard task for Baba kwa sababu of some things ambazo they are happening. The relationship between Ruto and other countries, alafu pia some things ambazo may happen kama hiyo post ambayo amepewa. I think that post has a factor also in this issue. So it may cause something, but let me add something on what Alex was saying on this issue of competence. You know, there's competency in Baba. The people who have worked with Baba, they know how competent Baba is. And you know, to define competency in a simple word, competency is just ability. You see, the ability of somebody, how good somebody is. Baba has that competency of doing everything that he does. The work that, in fact, in politics, not everything. Let me say, in politics, Baba knows how to maneuver in politics. Baba knows how politics played. See, kama watu wengine, you know, like in Kenya mostly, not in Kenya, let me say just in the world, mostly people always tend to differentiate between competency and confidence. Kuna watu wengine wanaona mtu akiwa confidence, wanaona kwa huyo mtu is competent because of that confidence ambayo ako nayo. Always wanaona direct kwa this person is ameshapita because of the confidence and competence. There's a difference between competence and the confidence. Because having confidence is just a belief. I believe in what you know, yeah. But competency is what you are good at. So to me, I believe Baba has what it takes, and he can do everything. He can do everything well, as much as it deals with matter and politics. That one ako sawa. Ukienda kwa mambo ya education, no, not education. Let me say mambo kama ya serikali, ya tunaweza sema Baba hajakuwa daktari, Baba hajakuwa nasi. So in that area, hata perform vizuri. But in politics, Baba is good. He's competent in that.
All right, interesting. I see my good friend Remus Yegon ameingia. Remus, karibu sana. I ask you to kimbia hapo YouTube. All right, I see you uko YouTube already. Subscribe to Kenya News Link. Hapa ndipo. Asante sana. Mohamed Edge, I see you. Unasema you are honored to participate in the launching of the new channel. Asante sana. We really appreciate. Asante sana for the support. I see many watching us. We are really humbled. Asante sana. The likes are so many. Namona Cecile, I think, Aguero, like hii video. Thank you so much for liking the video. Ramathan Salim, I see you. Asante sana. Namwona Benson amefanya ile kitu. Asante pia. Stephen Gore, I see you. Bosbori Diana, asante sana. Derek Omondi, asante sana. Thank you very much, guys, for the love, for the support. We cannot do this without you guys. You guys are just but amazing, and we are so glad that you chose to have us at the comfort of your house enjoying this show. Thank you very much. With me, I'm with Mr. Alex and one Mr. G. We are liking what we are discussing. Now, of course, with Baba leaving, kuna what we call the losers and the gainers. Let me begin with those who stand to gain. Let me put it this way. During campaign, especially Mount Kenya, one person who is seriously bastardized and he's a tool to the campaign is Raila Odinga. With his exit, what does it mean? Will the politician lack content because their content has always revolved around Baba this, Baba that. Now it's not Baba this, Baba that. It will be a different candidate. What will it mean in as far as the political cards are concerned? Him exiting, him moving out, the narrative in Mount Kenya has to change. You cannot keep on calling others Mkora and all, Mchawi and all. We have to find other things to say. And many always vote against Raila Odinga, not that they support the candidate. They vote to oppose Raila's candidature. Now, what does that mean? Let me begin with who? Let me begin with you, Mr. G. What does that mean? Baba exit. Who stands to gain? And does it change the narrative in as far as politics is concerned?
Okay, let me start with who stands to gain. I think on this whole issue, somebody who will gain more is Ruto. Why? Because when I look at these people ambao they're working with Baba, ama who are in political arena, most of them wamekuwa a bit weak. They are not been strong when Baba amekuwa. Although kuna hiyo issue hiyo part ambayo meguzia kusema some people they call him names, calling him Mchawi, calling him Mganga. Okay, they will lack somebody to call that name. Kwa sababu walikuwa wamezoea Baba most of the time Baba is a mature man. He's a guy ambao is a father who can absorb it. Ukimwita jina yoyote yeye is a father, he will absorb it. But these other guys ukienda ukaambia unaita mtu kama nani Junet, uanza kumuita majina ambao wanaita Baba, Junet hata kuweka, mnaweza pigana mangumi pale. But sasa let me go back to our chama ambao is ODM. We have people who will lose kwa sababu in ODM we have people ambao wanapenda ku take advantage of Baba. They come to Baba, some of them wanategesha ile kitu inaitwa ile kupewa, how do we call it, denomination pale ambao Baba anapeana nomination. So we have people who will stand to lose. And wacha tu ku lose, we have people who always take advantage of Baba. And I don't know why Baba always haoni vitu kama hizi. Look at a scenario kama what happened in the last election. We have people who are close to Baba, very close. Na wakajifanya wanatembea na Baba hata akitoka nje ya Kenya. Still these people could walk with him, go to him any place ambao Baba anaenda. Somebody like Jakababa, hiyo jina nyingine imepotea. This is a guy ambaye amekuwa na Baba for a very long time.
Jakakimba.
Yeah, Jakakimba. Yeah. This is a guy ambaye amekuwa na Baba for a very long time. But from nowhere tu ameanza kuongea vibaya kwa Baba. Ameanza kuongea vibaya kwa mtoto wa Baba. So you find you have people ambao walikuwa wakitumia Baba for a very long time, na Baba amekuwa akiwapatia nafasi because of that Baba ile, because he's a Baba, is somebody who can take anything. Anaona kama mtu ana mess, kama na mtoto anafanya ujinga, anaona hii ni ujinga, ataachana nayo. But people are coming out na wata lose. Many of them they will lose kwa sababu people walikuwa wanategemea mgongo wa Baba. Some people like governors, we have seen many governors ambao walikuwa wanasapotiwa na Baba, ni Baba ameenda mahali amewakampenia mpaka wanapewa, lakini wakishapata tu hivi wanatoroka. So a lot of people, wakati Baba atasema anajitoa kwa that area ya politics, we are going to see a lot of people losing. But I think this is a right time about people also need to wake up, alafu make up their right mind to choose the right leaders. Because also, even though Baba amekuwa around, but we have seen people choosing wrong people. We choose people to expect kwa watu wanakuja kusaidia, kumbe watu wakuja kusaidia. Look at somebody like this guy, the Osho's man in Nairobi. The Osho's, huyu jamaa anakanga kama mama huyu anaitwa nani? Yeah, Jalango. This is a guy ambao we thought that
why do you call him Osho's guy?
The way he walks, alafu pia vile anakaa. He's just a wash man. Okay.
So
that
you can
guy,
walk wash like I need to.
No, just look at his style of walking. Look at his style of walking. Alafu how he. No, the guy. Okay, that guy hayuko sawa vile. Oh, he's a guy ambaye me I believe is a wash. Yeah, he's among the team ambao ni wash. Okay, wacha tuachane mambo ya wash. This guy, we trusted him. Tukajua he's a leader, he's coming to help people, and Baba campaigned for him much, and Baba alitumia his time to campaign for him, but look at what happened. Anakuja anatuaibisha, anaanza leave alone hata si huyo peke yake, go to Kisumu, go to Nyanza, a lot of people ambao Baba alizunguka akiwa kampenia, alafu ile maajabu alituonyesha. So a lot of people, a time comes when Baba ataenda, I think we'll wake up and we'll have time to look at the leaders that we need. Alafu tutaweza kuwachagua.
All right. Okay. I wanted to come to Alex. I don't know if he's still there, but there's something you have said, and it's how I pose it to Alex. There's the winners or the losers in this. The people who have perpetually used Raila to be where they are, either get a nomination for ODM, be a governor, a senator. With his exit, can we classify them equally as the greatest losers? And someone here says that equally there are some big heads, political big heads ambao wata retire na yeye, like for example Martha Karua. Does she progress from here? Can she change herself and become big to the level that she can win a post, any elective posts? With the exit of Raila Odinga, is she able to now sail through? Or with the exit of Raila in Kenya's politics, it equally will be the beginning of many people retiring, many MPs losing their seats, because they will lack a narrative, because they have always used Baba as the chip to get into the positions they have always held, either an MP, a governor, a senator, an MCA. They have either gotten direct nomination because of being close to Baba. Now Baba is not in the picture. Who do you think are the greatest losers and equally winners in the event now Baba fully exit Kenyan politics?
For me, I look at it differently.
Yeah.
They are not going to be losers and winners. There are going to be a political tsunami which is called realignment. And it has already started. You know, the country barometer was Raila Odinga. And for a very long time, you know, wanasema reverse reaction and action are opposite and equal, if I can remember. So those who hated Baba, they hated them equally, the same way those who loved Baba. So these were opposing forces. So as Baba exits, there are people who are going to find themselves that, and many people are looking at ODM. People like Moses Kuri are going to be irrelevant to Ruto. People like Alfred Mutua are going to be irrelevant to. People like Mudavadi are going to be irrelevant to Ruto. I'm telling you, the casualties will be in both eyes. So then the realignment that you have seen so far, just the week that Raila said he is going for the seat. Now we have 25 rebels openly shouting at Ruto and in parliament, openly. They don't care anymore, led by Wamuchomba. So we are going to have many Wamuchombas. Yes. So the realignment is going to be real. Boni Alwale said to the president the other day, we are not going to rubber stamp what you tell us. Why? Because he's eyeing the seat of who? Baraza. And through that, he must act and talk and eat and go to put like a person who is in ODM. Otherwise, he won't take that seat because he has tried in UDA, it's not working. And many other people are going to realign. Now, Azimio is not going to exist. For the first time, Kalonzo will see the reason we have been saying, let's fold our parties and we become one. For the first time, Kalonzo will start asking for what? Mr. G, Kalonzo will start saying, tutaki DAP, tutaki ODM, tutaki hii, wacha sisi wote tukue chama kimoja, because he wants an assurance that he will be voted in. That's what we are calling realignment. Watu wa Meru ambao they feel that they are Mount Kenya East, who have been neglected, they are going to side with Kalonzo because Kalonzo always says that, unajua mamangu alitoka hapa, unajua mamangu alitoka hapa. Some things are going to be created, the narrative, like when Raila goes to Mumias, wanasema, I'm part of Nabongo. You know, we feel good. Now we'll defend that with all our might. But when we are going to bed, we question ourselves if Raila can be part of Nabongo. So that realignment is real. The Mount Kenya factor is a big factor. I swear to you, they are not going to the next election as UDA. They will go as their party. They know why and how cold is it to be out of Serikali. Number 2 does not matter. And you have had Ndindi Nyoro hit, you know, give us some specs of what is going. So there are no losers here and what? Winners. We are going to have serious realignment that has never been before. Even those you thought that will never be in the side. I tell you in Kisi, people like Machogo are going to become insignificant. Unless you are Kirengo cha Simba Arat. You never know. Simba Arat might even take over ODM. You never know. For preservation of ODM. You never know what might happen. So I swear to you, realignment is real. Let us not look at winners and losers. Just know that this country is going to align. The 25 rebels in UDA, they will realign themselves to what? To the reality come 2027.
All right. Now, I want to invite a good friend of mine. Omolo, I am sending you a link. Kindly join us. We have a nice discussion. And equally subscribe to Kenya News Link, and let's be part of this great conversation. Karibu sana Omolo, and we are glad.
Our family meeting, I return in 15 minutes.
All right.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah. Now, Mr. J, I come to you with this. There is this notion that at times when we are with Raila Odinga, we are assured that our country will take a certain projection in terms of we see massive campaigns, we see very nice political activities happening around. The campaigns by Raila Odinga are always epic. The rallies are always, you know, energetic. The crowds are always huge. Do we have someone who can fit those shoes? Because Kalonzo tried something on Sunday, and I think from where I sit, I don't know from you, I think it backfired. What do you think about it? Can Kalonzo really do something that will really shake many, and or someone may emerge and maybe come out to be, you know, what we never expected?
You know, what always happens ni kuwa at the time somebody ambaye alikuwa amekuwa perceived kuwa a strong man ametoka from the scene, always somebody grows up about will take his place, even though it may take time. Inaweza kuwa isiwe instant, but it may take time, but it will come to happen. But at the moment sahi, Baba, the way Baba is coming out of this scene, no one can fit into his shoes. Kwa sababu when you look at how kina Kalonzo huwa wanafanya kazi, you see, look at somebody like Kalonzo amekuwa akiwalk around, trying to campaign, trying to do his things, akijaribu mobilize his people. When you compare the numbers that he anavuta, alafu the numbers that he follows Baba, utapata kwa Baba is a strong man. So what I'm trying to say ni kuwa in this arena of politics, Baba has been a very strong man for a very long time, and he has no one to dispute it. No one can stand against it. No one can. And Baba is just another force. That's why you find people like Kina Manyora kwa namuita a spirit. That's why you find Kina Manyora kwa namuita a spirit. This is a man who is a different man in this thing. Ni mtu ambaye amejua kuplay. He knows how to do his thing. Alafu pia another thing, he's a guy, he's competent kwa siasa, alafu he has that courage. All of these things goes together. Although sometimes unaweza kuwa courageous na kumbe hauko incompetent. It works also. Unaweza kuwa uko courageous, you're so confident, and yet you are not competent. But Baba now has everything, and is a man ambaye he has that followers. He's a magnet. He has that followers. Na sijaiona mtu ambaye we can compare to him. Even though watu kwa nasema pia Ruto hako na followers. Yeah, it's true. Ruto has a followers, but not that like for Baba. Baba has that followers, that supporters. Watu ambao when akiambiwa kwa hata jichome anaweza jichoma kwa sababu ya Baba, But kwa mtu kama Uhuru, yani kwa mtu kama Ruto, sidhani kama kuna mtu akiambiwa ndio jichoma anaweza jichoma kwa sababu yake. There's a difference between the two people.
Now let's come back home. Who is likely to take over the leadership of ODM, and will he be able to hold it together? Raila has held ODM from 2005 to date. The replacement as the chair of ODM, because Raila can no longer be that. Oparanya, Joho, Simba Arati, are they able to do it?
At the moment, Bado, yes, I think it was yesterday or a day before yesterday. I listened to Oparanya akiongea kuhusu the issue of departure of Baba departure from the scene ya Kenya, from this mambo ya siasa kienda Addis Ababa, and I looked at him nikaona I saw a sign of an orphan person, somebody ambaye he's now an orphan. Ameanza kufeel that, unajua kuna wakati ambao ukiona baba ametoka unaanza kufeel kauoga fulani. So I saw that kauoga into him wakati kwa anaongea. So what I'm trying to say ni kuwa at the moment siwezi sema nani anaweza chukua, but we need to give it time because baba will be around. I'm not sure if he will get the seat, although he qualifies for the seat, but I don't know. If we take it, that is well and good. But we still have almost an year, one year before atoke. So at this 1 year, I think he will nurture somebody who will come out, alafu atamuonyesha tactics on how to handle these things, na ataweza kuchukua. But I'm seeing somebody like Simba Arati who has that confidence, and I think he's somebody ambaye he can lead this, he can put these people together, even though pia nani anaweza the guy huyu ambaye alikuwa ni former governor of Kakamega, he also anaweza, lakini still bado utaona some Oparanya, but still utaona some incompetence in them. Watu wote kuna something that they are lacking, ambao lazima baba ataketi nao karibu aweze kuwafunza, then wataweza kuchukua hiyo chama. But akiwacha hivyo, I don't see kama kutakuwa na mtu ambaye ataweza kuishika. That's where utapata kila kitu kitasambaratika. The same way na vene Azimio iko sahi. Azimio imekuwa pamoja just because of baba. Na baba akitoka without a structure ambayo inaweza kuweka watu pamoja wote, kila mtu ataenda njia yake. Hawataweza kukaa chini pamoja wote.
Alright.
Because kila mtu kila mtu ana decision kivyake.
When you look at now, that's the party. Let's now go to Azimio now, the bigger part. Kalonzo, Karua, Kioni, Eugene. Who replaces the flag bearer? Because the flag bearer has always been Raila Odinga, or was Raila Odinga in the last general election. In the last couple of elections we have had, Raila Odinga has been the man to beat. Okay. Is Kalonzo ready for that shoe?
No, Kalonzo, he has to take what I can say, he has to pull up his socks. Kwa sababu bado venakuwa na act na a person ambaye he's ready to take it. Kalonzo amekuwa bado hajaonyesha that okay, amekuwa na hiyo moyo ya kutaka because alikuwa anaitaka for a very long time, but ukiangalia the way he does his things, bado he's lacking something. He need to work on his work. He need to work on his strategy. When anafaa push, when anafaa aweze ku sell himself to people. ndio watu waweze kumkubali. Kwa sababu ukiangalia vile anafanya, no, bado there's something lacking. Angalia pia mtu kama nani huyo ambao umesema the former cabinet secretary alikuwa nini? Alikuwa ni wa interior. Wamalwa, yeah. Wamalwa pia ukimwangalia utapata is somebody ambaye bado he need to grow polepole aweze kufikia ile stage ambayo baba amefika. Just as I said, baba, we have nobody who can fit into his shoe at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have anybody who can fit into his shoe.
All right. Now let's move to something altogether. I think we have really covered Odinga and him moving to AU and that what it would mean. Now let's come to the other side of the aisle, which is UDA. Now UDA are in Naivasha and they are having a summit there, and the government is there, MPs were there, governors were there, because the judges will be there, I think, tomorrow or something like that. But let's come back to this. Can we begin with corruption? There is this issue of the government spending close to 50 billion that the controller of budget says she cannot really explain how it was used, like it was kind of misappropriated, in the sense that unakuta renovation of the State House, vitu kama hizo, and she's already sounding a bell. Last time she did this, alianza kujikuta anashikwa. Now I want us to listen to this and then we go on with this conversation, because let's now shift gears, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about the ones in government already, that is UDA, led by none other than the President William Ruto, and of course his large Kenya Kwanza team. Okay, just one moment. Okay, all right, just one moment. Okay, here we go. Now, control of budget Nyakanga has said that Kenyans, or rather the government, has spent wrongly over 50 billion. 50 billion, ladies and gentlemen, is not pet money. It's not pesa kidogo. Hii ni pesa kibao. Hii ni pesa kibao ambayo this government, led by the president, has used in the last few months, 1 year and so, in his tenure. What do you make of such? That's what we want to look at, because hii imekuwa ingine. The amount of spending 50 billion just to do, almost, can I call it wastage, traveling here and there, renovating buildings that probably zimetumika na the last couple of presidents without the need to renovate them, but the president felt, hey, I think I should renovate this one. So those are the things that are shaking this government or rubbing it in a wrong way. All right, so let's listen into this, even as I invite in SG Kamau to help us in this conversation, and we try to understand what is happening.
Over 50 billion shillings in 6 months without approval from her office or that of the National Assembly. The Controller of Budget, in her report on government spending over the first half of this financial year, indicates the government exploited a legal loophole to spend more than the legally permissible additional funds. Brenda Wanga reports that the projects undertaken with these funds include the renovations at State House and the purchase of a vehicle for a cabinet secretary.
The numbers leaping off the pages of the Controller of Budget's report of government spending from July to December 2023 tells the tale of a government not just living beyond its means, but one that does so without following the laws. The Margaret Nyakango report shows spending running into tens of billions of shillings undertaken by government ministries, departments, and agencies. The Controller of Budget's report shows that working under the cover of Article 223 of the Constitution that allows ministries, departments, and agencies to access additional funding if the amount appropriated is insufficient or if a need has arisen, the government used a whopping 51 billion shillings over 6 months on expenses, some of which were not emergencies. Among the expenditures incurred under this provision are the renovations at State House. The report shows that on the 23rd of October, State House accessed 700 million shillings for the construction of a modern presidential dais at State House Gardens. In July, 400 million shillings was allocated to State House for the purchase of motor vehicles. In August, the State Department for the EAC was allocated 16.3 million shillings for the purchase of a vehicle for a CS. 1.82 billion shillings was used for the stabilization of petroleum pump prices for August and September 2023. A further 2.4 billion shillings went to the purchase of relief food and non-food items by the State Department of Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development, where the Ministry of Defense accessed 200 million shillings for support response to El Nino rains. The State Department for Crop and Development was given 2.24 billion shillings for the procurement of maize drying and storage facilities, and 1.58 billion shillings was approved by Treasury for the renovation of the KICC ahead of last year's African Climate Summit held there. While the law allows the government to draw funds under Article 223 provisions, the same law provides that consent of Parliament should be sought or obtained within 2 months of the withdrawals. Only 3.29 billion shillings spent had the requisite approvals. The report also exposes the government's priority in spending over the same period. The Exchequer disbursed 1.4 trillion shillings to various government departments. The lion's share of the amount, 1.23 trillion shillings, went to recurrent expenditure, while 291 billion shillings was spent on personnel emolument. A paltry 7.41 billion shillings was used by government agencies for development. The spending comes as the government's control of budget drew attention to the growing public debt that at the close of 2023 stood at 11.14 trillion shillings, exceeding the legal limit. Dr. Margaret Nyakango is now asking the government to curb its appetite for borrowing. Brenda Wanga.
All right. Well, I don't know even what to say, but wow. SG Kamau, karibu sana. Hope you're well.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Karibu sana kwa show.
Asante, nashukuru bana. Unajua I'm home now. Tuko nyumbani.
Yeah. Aha.
What I mean is that tuko sasa na channel yetu ya nyumbani sasa.
Ndio hii channel yako mpya, channel ya home ndo hii.
Been waiting for it. I've been waiting bana tuingie hapa tupige porojo.
Aha.
Siasa one on one.
Yeah.
Can you tell me one of the richest people you know? One of the richest multi-millionaire you know?
In Kenya or abroad?
Dunia mzima. The top richest people.
Akina Elon Musk? Watu kama hao.
Do you know ile shati anavaa hata unaweza ipata akikomba?
Wanasemanga there are guys who live simple lives.
Very simple life. Watu wanavaa slippers. Na wengine wanaenda na basketi. But now we have an idiot here as a president ambaye anavaa ati leather jacket ya 1500. What are you trying to prove to people of Kenya? That you are wiser than us? Wakina nani wanakuja hapa Nairobi, wakina Richard Branson na t-shirt ya 500. Na mtu anavaa belt ya 300,000. Viatu za 450. Na yuko huko akipayuka akituambia kwa TV how we should tighten our belts, how we should build our economy with the taxes. I'm sorry to use this word, but that is stupidity and idiocy. Mimi nimekuambia bro, I think somebody is trying to fit in a class that he has never been, because ile saa mtu anavaa ni ya 3 million, kiatu ya 1400, leather jacket ya 1000 sijui 1 million, and then unakuja kutuambia hapa vile wewe you are an economist. Which economist? So these are things that we should collect as a people, because Kenya vile tunaendelea si mzuri. So fast is not good. And when I look at that report of and we thank God. Tunashukuru Mungu kwa wale watu ambao wako kwa serikali, but they are doing their work. One of the people I can vote for or vote for is the director, the control of budget. These are independent people. I am happy because of even Mother Kome is behaving as an independent person. These are the people that they are going to help this country, because with the Ruto and his lunatic people ambao wanatuletea sasa hivi, wametuletea sukari ambao ni poisonous, iko kwa pot. Tunangojea approval from the Kenya Bureau of Standards, tukunywe tukufe na cancer. So for us, we know that those individuals that God has appointed, let them continue doing the work of the Lord. Kazi ya Bwana iendelee kufanywa. Mr. G namuona hapo na
Mr. SG, what do you make of this spending? Because 50 billion even to a government that we say it found empty coffers. 50 billion is a lot. Of course, now it's priding itself in paying, what do we call it? The Eurobond loan and all these kind of loans. And they even explained that's why the shilling is falling, or rather has gained against the dollar, because now we are a stable economy. And in fact, they are saying, of which I'll be playing in a short while, that our economy is projected to grow in double digits. But even as we are growing, our spending, our wastage is at a new and normal levels. Will we even really attain levels that we can say, at least finally Kenya is making progress that is visible, tangible, and can be appreciated by all? Without talking about it, we can see it. We can see roads being done, houses coming up, hospitals being well facilitated with working insurance, that is SHIF, with enough beds capacity, with enough medicine, with enough personnel, that is doctors and all the support staff. At what point will we say now, finally, with all the taxation, with all the challenges that we go through, finally now Kenya is making progress? Because with 50 billion being lost in a couple of months, even if we were to say the shilling is gaining, is this a progress that can last, or is a progress just for us to be shown in the cameras, but in actual sense, when we get maybe probably a new regime, we might end up seeing the dirt that lies therein?
the economy, the shilling has not gained. The shilling has been manipulated to gain. Because when the shilling gains, my brother, we also gain as a people. We buy vehicles cheaply.
Yes.
Yeah. And there is no way you can tell me all the world currencies, the top 20 currencies, and the local neighboring currencies have not changed. Because we expected if the shilling gains in Kenya, then the Tanzania shillings to depreciate. But it is still at the same level. This is the economy according to YK92. Somebody playing with the minds of the people. Anaenda anachukua loan ya kulipa loan, na before hiyo loan ilipwe anasambaza hiyo pesa kwa banks ili ziweze kuuza dola cheaply, but before wauze wamrudishie pesa zake ambazo wamegain. It's pure manipulation. If it is not reflecting in our fuel prices, it is not reflecting in our importation prices, then which shillings have gained, bro? Let us get out of this stupidity of thinking that the Arif can help a country. This is a wash man. Alafu nakuja kuniambia Jex hakuna shilingi imegain. It is not organic. Kama ili depreciate organically by 2, 3, 4, 5 bob, how can it reduce with 10 bob? Kwani sisi ni wajinga, bro? Are we stupid? What we know, this is the economy appreciating according to YK92, according to Ruto. But there is nothing that has gained. In fact, I can tell you, we are in a bad place than we were before, because he is a manipulation of a dollar. Because Kenyans want to hear the dollar is stable, but are they looking at the sterling pound? Are they looking at the Japanese yen? Are they looking at the rand of South Africa? It is still the same position. So that tells you there's a lot of foul play here. In fact, there's a lot of what we call manipulation that is going to be used for politics. But numbers, I love numbers. This is going to be an egg in his mouth or in his face in the few days that are going to come. So, bro, na usiambie economy na grow at 5% by the World Bank. No, that is not the data that we need. The economy grows by the people. Watu wakisema wanaweza kuafford kulipa madeni, that is how the economy grows. Watu wanaweza afford kulipa nyumba, rent na nini na kujenga, that is how we measure the economy. In fact, let me put it so simply so that you understand. If you can afford to buy a bread every day, that is how the economy is measured. And let me put it this way so that you also understand. It's going to be easy for you to understand because you're a man. If you can be able to go to Sabina Joy and entertain a woman, that is how you measure the economy. Kama malaya hana pesa.
What did you just say? So those are the parameters you're looking at, eh?
Those are practical areas. Unaenda Sabina Joy unasema pea msichana Guinness baridi. No?
Well,
unalipa
that's
room.
what economists look at, but anyway.
No. It is the practical way of looking at the economy. Not sijui figures. If those women don't have money, there is no economy we are talking about.
Okay. All right. Now, Mr. G, what do you make of that kind of spending? 50 billion lost, or rather misused, or the control budget says zingine hata hakuulizwa, she wasn't consulted or anything. Zilitumika tu. There were no procedure was followed. Walitumia tu. Renovate what do you call this? Renovate what do you call this? State House. Miradi hapa kule za giza, kutravel hapa kule. Of course, the president has always been all over. What do you make of such revelation by control of budget? Of course, it's not the first time equally.
Yeah, this is not the first time, and also with the government, this is not the first time we are hearing those stories. Because remember, mwezi wa kwanza when they came in the power, tunajua kuwa walipata Uhuru kwa amewachia magari, but what happened? Waliamka watu watatu, yeye ambaye ni president, akaamka Gachagua deputy president, alafu akaamka huyo mwingine from Western, huyo madividi anaitwa ngaje, Mudavadi. Waenda kununua gari ya around was it 900 million ama 700 million. Waenda kununua magari. Na huko wametudanganya kuwa wamepata dilapidated economy. These are guys ambao they are overspender, and also they are people ambao they don't follow law. Kwa sababu if the budget controller anaweza lamika akasema kuwa hiyo pesa haijakuwa approved, how comes pesa imetoka na haijakuwa approved? But what we know is that we cannot defend this government because the government is full of people ambao they are corrupt. These are people ambao they don't believe in laws, they don't believe in anything. Hao ni watu ambao wanajiamulia vile wanataka, and the leader of them ni president ambaye hataki kufuata hata law. Yeye anaamua kitu ambacho anataka. Akisema leo anataka milioni 10 itoke hivyo hivyo, hataki kujua kama itapitishwa na parliament ama haitapitishwa na parliament. Look at what happened kwa how do you call it? It was just the last time ambao the control of budget akwa anaongelea kuhusu pesa ambayo imetumika almost 2 trillion I think. 2 billion ama 2 trillion imetumika in less than 2 months without any approval, na uwezi fuata, and you cannot even follow ukajua hii case imefanya kazi gani. Wacha hiyo. Look at what has been happening all around. Tunakatwa taxes every time and then, tunakatwa taxes, but you cannot see anything about those taxes inafanya hiyo pesa inafanya taxes. So these are the people ambao when they told us that they had a plan, they never had a plan for our country. I think when they say they had a plan, alikuwa na plan of how to take power. That's what I can understand. It was not the plan to kutengeneza our economy or the plan to build our country. No, it was a plan on how to take power. And this guy, because of that plan, Donona alianza way back around 16 years ago, akaplan on this thing. Even though some of our leaders hawakujua, watu kama kina baba hawakujua, they told that the people ambao got together. He started planning when he was in ODM. By that time, ndo wakati ambao leta Chebukati pale kwa ODM. Na wakati aleta Chebukati pale, he had the idea of what Chebukati anakuja kufanya. Although for watu kama sisi ambao tuko ODM tulikuwa tunafikiria tu za guy ambaye amekuja ODM mtu wetu nini, but Chebukati was brought for a purpose. So the guy planned for this thing back the way back 16 years back. Na akawa anajua what will come to do. And that's why wakati alikuja akitambia kuna plan, it was just on how to take power. But when we talk about economy haiko kwake. Even though tuliona akiongea the other time, alikuwa anaongea akiambia baba kuwa baba anamshinda kwa story peke yake, but issue the economy and everything anashinda baba. Now if you are good in economy, how comes you cannot remove us from the place we are right now? In fact, unajua vile nani amesema, vile CJ amesema ni ukweli. This issue of dollar is just manipulation, kwa sababu when dollar iko stable, pesa itakuwa mifukoni mwa watu. Kila mtu atakuwa haezi lia. Wacha hiyo, ukienda kwa duka everything itakuwa imeshuka bei, but ibuenda kwa petrol station imeshuka na shilingi moja peke yake, zingine hata hazijashuka. And then here we are being told that the economy is stable. Economy is not stable. This is just manipulation, and they know what they're going to gain on this. But we need to wake up. Tunafaa tuamke tuambie ukweli, because tukiendelea kukaa si ndio tutaumia. And can assure you Jex, hii kitu kilipuka sijui tutakuwa wapi, because hii kitu ni mbaya sana. What did they try to do? Wanafika wanatuchezea akili, but what we know is that wanatuingiza kwa shimo ambayo itakuwa ngumu sana sisi kutoka. Yeah.
All right. Now, kuna kitu leo imehappen pia before we even come back to Naivasha. The Nadco report imekuwa tabled in parliament, na equally the housing levy imekuwa tabled, na I think hata imepita. What do you make of it? Because it speaks a lot, because the courts have pronounced themselves in as much as the housing levy is concerned. Today, Parliament did its due diligence, if I may call it so. Now I can approve a law about it. Of course, it will have to go back to the Senate, and they said by March is story itakuwa imeisha. What do you make of it? Why that rush? Why that rush? Let me start with you, Mr. G. Mbona tunakimbisha such things?
But Mr. Jex, I think it was yesterday, a day before yesterday, when the president said that ataki kusema which way, but itapita, implement. This is something that alisema, and it is in the media. So, you know, with this government, they don't follow the law. Ni president anaketi kwa State House, anaita watu wake, and kumbuka he has captured the whole parliament. Just very few people from Azimio and ODM ambao hawajakuwa captured, but the other team wote wameshikwa, wanaitwa State House, alafu wanaambiwa what to go and vote for. So this thing obviously tulijua tu ita happen. These are things about tulijua, but now how can we prevent it? Now with another thing, another disaster, ni now that Baba is coming out of this issue. Sasa tunabaki sisi watu ambao hatuwezi jitetea, watu kama kina Kalonzo ambao hatuwezi tutetea, hawezi tutetea. What will really happen in this country? Sasa hapo ndo tunaanza kuona sasa the true picture and the benefit of why we needed Baba to be around. Because such things zitakuwa zinapita na hakuna kitu tutafanya. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to parliament, some of these things zinapita mbio sana. Walifungua, I think, on the 12th of this month, and today is 21st, that is. I think they have had only 2 or 3 sessions, but already a bill that has really been a controversial bill has already passed. What do you make of it, Mr. SG? Is our parliament held hostage? Are our parliamentarians lawmakers, or they break anything simply because they are under some kind of directive from somewhere, so from some quarters?
Nipigia nikiangalia kitu kwa internet ya nini ile mansion Kiptun anajengewa huko Wasingisu.
Oh, yeah, we'll end with that story ya Kiptum even as we eulogize him.
Anyway, tutakuja hapo tuangalie hiyo nyumba ya ng'ombe. The thing is, for me, I don't want. I'm telling Mr. G, let us not prevent these things from happening. Let them happen. Let them break the law the best they can do. Because we are supposed to be having the most educated president in Africa, a PhD holder, but he cannot answer how a 55-year-old man in a civil servant or a civil servant of 55 years old will be contributing for the next 5 years and his money gets lost. He cannot answer that. He can also not answer how he's going to sell houses that are actually in a government land or a county land. And he's a PhD holder. So when you look at that, you as a good man, as a great man who sees the future of Kenya, you should let it happen. Because once we have a next president, then he is going to question these things. How did you own a house in a government property? And I'll remind you something happened in 1960s, 65, 68. Kenyatta goes to Uganda and meets Wakina Obote and Nyerere and tells them, I want us to have an East African community. We have also an East African industry, an East African church, an East African office. But Kenyatta tells them, I'll give you land for free. The only thing you contribute is the manpower and money, and of course, mulete hizo mawe. After 5-7 years, Kenyatta tells them, I don't think this East Africa thing is working. Kila mtu akuja achukue nini yake, mali yake, mawe zake, simiti zake. So Kenya remained with so much property of Uganda and Tanzania, and that is why they don't trust us to date. And then a president makes his way to the presidency or steals his way to the presidency and comes and tells you, buy a land, buy a house, that the title deed is owned by that county. Unless you are very stupid as an individual. Because any regime change, it means you're going to return the house to the county.
Okay.
So when I look at the parliament passing that thing, I am happy as an individual. Because I know the end result. And the end result is mess. The end result is laughter and jokes. So for me, I don't want us to prevent Ruto from doing what he wants. He has promised millions of youth through this project. Let us see the millions of youth being employed. Isn't it? So these issues, let them pass.
Okay.
So that we have a basis of the next campaign.
Okay.
But what I'm urging the Azimio group, we have to configure a team. I've always said that we will vote for anybody else except Ruto. I know even Kalonzo can pass, but he has to get out of this is cocoon. He doesn't look like a threat to anybody. You know, hii Kenya ukitaka poa, lazima ukae kama threat. He has to get out of Ukambani politics.
But how will he get out? Na juzi mlimkataza kufanya meeting Meru.
Kama amekatazwa, kwa nini yeye akatae? Bro, ukikataza Raila kufanya mkutano, nakuuliza ukikataza Unakataza Raila kufanya mkutano Kibera, anafanya nini?
Anafanya tu ama anashuka.
Ndugu, tunakaa huko na mapolisi the whole day tuking'ang'ana na hiyo uwanja. That is the kind of politics I want to see. Unafika pale ni tear gas tupu. Tunyunyuziwe maji. That is the kind of politics I want. So si ukiambia usikuende unaweka mkia yako nyuma unaenda nyumbani Siokuru. Hapana. Ni unasema hiyo Meru nitafika. Under the sea, over the sea, whatever. Niko huko. Lakini sasa ukikogopa. So Kalonzo cannot be the best bet. I'm thinking wacha asimame kama president peke yake. Alafu tuwe na timu ingine huku ya kina nani. Because I'm thinking, unajua mimi hata nilikuwa na think unajua Ruto anategemea Wakikuyu. Anategemea 47% itatoka kwa Wakikuyu. Ambao sasa wamekasirika hata sasa hivi wananuka vita tu. Wakikuyu bait yao ni very easy. Wakikuyu mimi ni mmoja wao naweza kuambia the best way to trap Kikuyu. Tafuta mtu strong kwa Kikuyu waambie huyo ndio president yenu. Waende direct opposition. Si ndio? Wakienda direct opposition naye Ruto atakuwa na struggle na Waluria, struggle na Wakamba, struggle na Wacoast, struggle na Wakisii, abaki na Wakale. Kwa hivyo wale watashinda hii uchaguzi ni wale watakuwa na Waluya, Wajaluo, Wakisii, Wacoast, Northeastern na Nairobi. That is the only thing.
But isn't that dividing our country in ways that may be described as tribal, in ways that might not really work to unify a country that is seeking to have a one united nation, if we were to divide it along those lines you are describing tonight?
Bro, we are still divided, whether you like it or not. I think we should bite the bullet. You have to understand that today, if you go to look for employment, if you are like Kamau, you have a high chance. No, you start with the Cape. Toroitich, mtu anaitwa Korir. Just because of the name, unakuwa umefunga bao moja. To the opponent side. Alafu itwa Ruto, unakuwa na bao mbili. 2-0. Lakini itwa sijui Mwanaisa. Sijui ati unaitwa mtu anaitwa Omondi. Wewe unakuanga uko negative. So that is the situation on the ground. Na hii siasa tusifanye safi sana. Kwa sababu kama ule anaongoza nchi leo amefika hapo kwa sababu ya ufisadi. Ndugu yangu. I need to wasafi sisi.
Okay.
Lazima we play dirty as a country.
Okay. SD, I want to come to you, and I come to you with this question. At some point, Kenya Kwanza ought to up its game, because just the other day, the president was having serious time in the Mount Kenya region. He was heckled badly, or rather leaders who accompanied him were heckled to the level that at times it disrupted the meeting or the flow of the meeting. What do you make of this? Is it something that we should embrace, given that despite all this, despite all the challenges, despite all this, they are saying that the economy is now doing good, should anticipate a double-digit progress of our economy, but mwananchi kule chini ni kama hafeel. Mwananchi kule chini ni kama bado ana complain. Mwananchi kule chini anajikuta hata president akiwa hapo bado hata anamheko, kwa sababu probably kuna kitu ana feel gava haijadu. So from where you sit, has this government lived to the expectation of many?
I don't think so. You know what is really happening, Sai? People are just expressing themselves. That's why on a parties of heckling. You know, when somebody tells you that the economy is stable, you have to see it and believe it. Si mtu anakuambia and yet unaona vene hali imekuwa ngumu. At the moment sahi tuko sahi, leo ni tarehe ngapi? Leo ni around 21. How many children bado wanaenda shuleni? How many children bado hawajaenda shuleni kwa sababu ya school fees? You see? How many people are still dying of hunger? Sahi, how many people hawezi pata matibabu kwa sababu hawana pesa? Hawezi enda kwa hospitali. Economy is not doing well. But the guy will stand up and anakuambia kuwa economy is established. Economy is not established kwa sababu bado tumeona our investors hawajarudi. Some of them walikimbia wakaenda Tanzania, wengine walienda Uganda, hawajarudi mpaka sahi. Ingekuwa iko stable, those investors wangekuwa shakuja sahi. So what I'm trying to say ni kuwa these people, they believe in lies. Na wanaishi kwa lies. And we should not believe them. So what is happening with this whole issue of heckling and in, people are just expressing themselves. Wameshachoka. Mtu amelala njaa siku mbili, hajui atapata wapi chakula. So what will he do? Unajua nafika wakati somebody ambaye ana kitu ya kulose, he'll do anything. And that is where we are going, ambayo itakuwa is a worst place ambao hatufai kufika. You know, when it comes to a place whereby tutapata saa watu wanajitokeza, those people ambao hawana kitu ya kulose, the guys ambao hawana kazi, hawana anything ya kulose, wamejitokeza, wanaanza kuharibu our country. Hapo tutakuwa tumefika mwisho, which is a very bad thing. You know, this government, tukiangalia the promises that they made before coming into election, hiyo time period of campaign, they promised a lot of things ambayo ilikuwa ni mzuri, and if you look at what they are promising, ungeona ni kama watu ambao wanakuja kubadilisha our country for a better, and I think they were in a better place to change this country. Lakini shida ni kuwa ni watu ambao you cannot trust. These are incompetent people, the people that you cannot trust. That's why they had chance to deliver themselves, wameshindwa kudeliver mpaka sahi. They have been taxing us every time and then, hatuoni any fruits of those taxes. Ni watu wanadanganya. Juzi anakuja anatuambia kwa every trip that is going out anatafutia Wakenya kazi. Every trip that he goes out anatafutia Wakenya kazi. Akifika kule anaongea mambo mengine tofauti na what is telling our people here. He's a double speak person, a person that you cannot trust. So what am I trying to say? Heckling itaendelea. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu people are expressing themselves. Wamefika mwisho sasa. A time comes where unapita limit of where you are supposed to reach, na hapo unalipuka sasa. Na hapo mahali ambao wamefika sasa. Wanalipuka. Yeah.
Okay. And wanalipuliwa sana kwa sababu the housing bill ambao walikuwa celebrate juzi ndio hiyo imepita second reading. Let's listen into what transpired in parliament despite the meeting in Naivasha. These guys were able to pass this housing levy or affordable housing bill imepita leo in parliament.
Second reading, and will now be moving to the committee of the whole house in the National Assembly for possible amendments before it's forwarded to the Senate for approval. 141 MPs voted in support of the bill, 58 opposed it. KTN's political affairs reporter Daniel Kariuki has the details.
Assembly is just about.
It is just a matter of time before the affordable housing bill becomes law, after National Assembly passed the bill into the committee of the whole house.
Which is the affordable housing bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023, be now read a second time. As many as of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
When the matter was put to vote, the ruling Kenya Kwanza easily floored their counterparts in the Azimio coalition.
The results are as follows. The ayes, 141. The noes, 58. Total vote, 199. Abstentions, nil. So the ayes have it.
Opposition members faulted the government side, accusing them of overburdening the common mwananchi.
And I can see Leader of Majority is laughing. He actually said when he was moving this motion that they are very happy because government is going to receive more money. But why should you be happy when the same hustlers are suffering, Mr. Speaker, just because you are getting more money to do things that are not so clear?
However well-intentioned, this bill still requires a lot of proper analysis and engagement, not at the level of drafting, but at the idea level. It is still premature. It has not been well cooked. It is being rushed. it will end up being in problem.
However, the government insisted that the bill will ensure job opportunities for the unemployed Kenyans.
Jobs for your constituencies. Vote for jobs. Vote for employment. Vote for homeowners. Vote for wealth creation. Vote for a new Kenya.
The bill proposes to use existing structures of governance, including county governments, including the National Housing Corporation, including the State Department in charge of housing, and other private entities that could be involved in the issue of affordable housing.
The bill will now go into the Committee of the Whole House, where amendments to the bill will be introduced before going to a third reading and later forwarded to the Senate for its concurrence.
In accordance with our standing orders, I'll direct that any member who has any amendments to file, your deadline is noon tomorrow.
The two houses intend to have passed the bill by Tuesday next week, with the Kenya Kwanza leadership in both houses saying the 1.5% housing levy will be back before the March payrolls are finalized. Daniel Kariuki, KTN News, Nairobi.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are not safe as you thought. You are not as safe as you thought. Why? Because the housing levy is back. The 1.5% housing levy tax that was deducted from you, and I think January ndio ilikuwa imewekwa pause na Feb, March inarudi. Why? Now, SG, I want to ask you this. Are we safe buying the houses in a situation where I'll get what Otiende Amolo was trying to bring out, that it's not really very clear, all these things, as much as imepita, it's not really clear. So even only in this house, if we had a regime change, would we not say that we have lost money because wanaanza kubomolewa? Government has no problem bringing down structures. We have seen it happening. It even happens up to today. Is Mwananchi safe buying these houses? Number one. Number two is, why don't we have these laws well thought out, well looked at, so that there are no loopholes in it? You know, there is no rush. Let's just do the right thing the right way, follow the law properly, and do the proper way to do this amendment of this housing levy issue. If it is rushed like this, therein I'm sure lies some loopholes, which of course probably the courts might see or might not see. What do you make of these houses? Let me begin with you, Bwana SG, before I come to Mr. G.
I again reiterate this, and I repeat this. And before you say that, there was this issue of heckling the president.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you where it's emanating from. It was not even, let me tell you, for the first time in the history of Kenya, we have a president who looks like he is not a president. If you know what I mean. He looks funny. Look at the way, just the way the economy looks like. You know, the way the economy looks so shoddy. The way there is no glory in the economy. You're coming into town, clubs have been closed, shops are being closed. You know, so the reason why the president is being heckled, because he looks as if he's not the president. In fact, he misses two things or three things. There's what we call in English the grace. He misses the grace of a presidency. There's what we call the demeanor. He misses that. He has no, he's not commanding the presence of a presidency. He looks, I'm not, I don't, you know, people think that when I say these things, I hate Ruto, but he looks just the way the economy looks like. Agree. Anakaa tu mtu rough, anakaa tu hivyo. So hata mtu kushout anaona kama ni huyu I can shout. So there's a word I'm looking for in English ambayo ilikuwa na Moi, ilikuwa na Kibaki, ilikuwa na Kenyatta, ilikuwa na yani those presidents could command the presence to the people. And sometimes even hata kama he's a very bad person like Moi, when I feel the president is around, so I will be disciplined because I'm shocked to see the president in our community. But this guy looks ordinary. Yes, he looks, and I think he resembles the economy. Vile anakaa ameraruka kama economy peke yake, so watu wanakaa ni kama hawajali. Hata nikipiga shauti president akuwa pale, huyu ni nani? Akai rais. Siko ubaya, lakini ilivyo inakaa anyway. It is the way it is looking like. But now coming back to the housing problem, I again retaliate. Wacha hii kitu ipite bro. Tusisaidie Ruto nini kumanage uchumi. Ukiona mtu ni mjinga, mtoto wanalilia wembe, mpatie wembe afanye nini? Ajikate. Si anasema hii, anasema hii ajinice. Si anasema hii akipewa hii housing levy mashida za employment imeisha. Si ni sawa? Alafu watu wanakatwa, si watu wa serikali wengi. These are government, watu wako na payslip. Si watu ambao kwa hii mitaani wana madharau, wanasemanga sijui yao ni middle class, sijui nini. Wengine hata wapigange kura, si wache wakatwe. So me I like it when it's like that because I know the end result. You understand? Na tusiogope Kenya kwenda Haiti we. Unajua watu wanasema sijui, hata nasikia Mr. G akisema it is bad, tunaenda ni kama tunaharibu nchi. Hapana, wacha nchi iharibike. My brother, hii nchi isipoharibika to a point where we can reconstruct afresh, you and me will never get our equitable share. Believe it or not. Mtu kama huyo Kimani Ichung'wah anaongea hapo, ni mtu from Kikuyu, tunamjua. Alitoka university akafungua butchery, alikuwa anauza mutura na kichwa na supu ya kichwa. Sahi he's a proud owner of choppers. Sahi ukienda hapa Kikuyu pande ya Kinoo amejaza manyumba za kukondisha. Ni mshahara gani ama ni sako gani imempatia hilo? These are thieves. These are thugs. So the best thing we can do is to wish them the worst. Musikue mtu wa kusikia vibaya ati kwa sababu tunataka hii serikali ianguke. Kwa maoni yangu, hii serikali kikaanguka, it will be the benefit of a majority of Kenyans. Na mimi nataka hata tukue kama Haiti.
Now let's come back to the topic kidogo too, so that we equally become something that we can all agree on. As Raila is leaving for AU, Kalonzo is seriously pushing the Nadco report. Of course, he stands to gain or lose with it, because with it comes a lot. Of course, the courts, in a way, have pronounced themselves that there is no law, either in the constitution or even a framework in law that supports this Nadco thing. So it's already an illegality even from their own state. Now let's listen in, even as we near wrapping up. Then we'll end with what we started with. So let's listen in to this Nadco report that was equally tabled. And here again, ladies and gentlemen, Azimio and UDA, I think in a way worked together, or rather they agreed on this one. Let's listen in, even as we move on.
The committee report began today at the Senate with legislators from the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya, and those from the Kenya Kwanza clashing on some issues in the report. The issue of gender parity eliciting reactions from leaders who accused the committee of failing to give a proper solution to what they termed as a thorn in the flesh of Parliament. Key among the recommendations that the Senate and the National Assembly are set to deliberate on are having a new electoral commission in place, measures to lower the high cost of living, creation of the office of the Leader of Opposition, and the office of the Prime Minister, among others.
It was shocking to see that the issue of two-thirds gender rule could have been sent outside the process of this report, Mr. Speaker. And I would urge the leadership of this House, having understood how important it is to take care of over 50% of the population in Kenya, to find an avenue, Mr. Speaker, when the amendments are being proposed, to find an avenue, Mr. Speaker, to reintroduce that very important issue on the issues that touch on women. They have chosen these committee members who maybe might have worked very hard. I don't know. Because for me, I cannot read anything else, Mr. Speaker, when the first thing that is highlighted is that on the issue of the two-thirds gender rule, we are not going to discuss it. They should go, and then we come back.
Senators? The burden of achieving the two-thirds gender is a burden that this administration took up themselves. It's a burden that when William Samoei Ruto went around the country seeking support from women, he promised them a 50-50 arrangement in the cabinet.
Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether the Senator Veronica is in order to mislead this House and the public that this committee, the NATCOM committee, decided to exclude women. It is women who decided to remove the process from NATCOM and start something else under Ministry of Gender. Order, Senator Gloria.
Today, I got to tell you about.
All right. So the gender issue came out, and it is what informed the division in the House. And I'm telling you, the Nadco report, itakuwa tabled and itapita. Maybe a quick one from both of you, even as we wrap up. SG, what do you make of this Nadco report? Will it benefit Kalonzo, or who does it stand to benefit, given that even Baba is leaving? So why do we need the Nadco report? The players are reducing.
Hiyo Nadco, hiyo mimi, hiyo ni ujinga, hiyo do not benefit anybody.
So Kalonzo is pushing something that will not benefit us in any way.
I wish I would vote for Kalonzo if they stand, but I really find him so, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't know what kind of a president he can be. But the point is, when he starts with Uhuru, the Ruto, I think I still vote for him, but he lacks the. Oh yes, this is the word I've always been looking for. I was looking for this word even when I was talking about the president. He lacks the gravitas. You know, gravitas. He lacks the influence. He lacks in so many fronts. Mpaka unashangaa huu ni rais ya aina gani? Anyway, but because we want Kenya to heal, tutampea kura tu for the sake of Kenya.
All right.
But those Nadco things, those are useless things. Kusaidia. So ni kama tunataka kusaidia hii serikali iwe na image. Wacha iharibu nchi bwana. Mimi naambia watu wacha hii serikali iharibu nchi bwana. You cannot build a house if it is not destroyed. Let us bomb this house. Tuwasaidie hata kuchoma hii nyumba. If you can be able to from your seat or from your bed, unaweza wasaidia kuchoma pahali unaweza. Wewe fanya hivyo. Na kama wewe ni Mkenya unajua ya kwamba president disobey
advocating for violence and one, let me just disassociate the channel from such utterances. But one, where do we stand to gain if we were to do that? What do we?
It is not violence. We are talking about resetting the factory setting of a country.
Should we use?
And that one can only happen. It can only happen. It can only happen when there is what we call a revolution, not violence. Revolution can even be very peaceful, bro. And the revolution can only happen if the system.
Maybe that would be better.
A peaceful revolution where systems have broken. People have no salaries. You know, that's what I'm saying. To get to a point, Kenya cannot pay its debts, cannot pay the counties. And then we are in a crisis. And that crisis precipitates necessitates a revolution. And that revolution changes the way we think and the way we do things. I would like to see that coming to pass. In fact, my greatest prayer to God, it is let this government fail flat-footed, so that at the end of the day, Jakes, we have a government that makes sense. Because this is not a leadership. You can even give your kids as an example. So for me, I will not be part and parcel of Nadco, because Nadco is proposing things that can change in the leadership of Kenya Kwanza. Yeah, ati tubadilishe hii ndio Kenya Kwanza ipate jina, tupate sijui nini. No. Wacha Kenya Kwanza ijikarange na mafuta yake kama nguruwe, ndio tuweze kuwa na nchi bana. We don't have a country. You can imagine the president, the deputy president and the ministers. These are crooks, and you're telling me tutengenezea hao majina by kutengeneza. I mean, surely. Yeah. So for me, I'm on the side where they destroy the country, we build afresh. Because as we speak, bro, sahi nchi haina ladha bwana. We are having what we call hand to mouth. Na rais anavaa belt ya 450,000 and he feels nothing about it. Sawa. Sahi okay, tuko naongea juu ya nini? I mean, everything is upside down, bro.
All right, fantastic. I see my good friend Kenya Rebel equally commenting hapo kwa comment section. Asante sana Kenya Rebel, and equally subscribe to Kenya News Link. Wacha tufanye ile kitu. Asante sana kaka. Mr. G, your sentiments on the Nadco report, even as we wrap up, before I play the video that has been trending.
You know, Jakes, at the moment we are in a crisis. So we are in a crisis. But now, I don't think if to succeed, Maguko, but we cannot say that we can destroy our country. We cannot destroy this country, because even if we destroy it, tukienda kwa election kama hatujajipanga vizuri, this guy will still take over. Yeah, this guy will still take it over, because this is a guy ambaye amejipanga upande wa hiyo, upande wa kuchukua power. Remember, he planned it 16 years ago wakati alikuwa kwa ODM. Alijua one day he will come to be a president, na kaanza kujipanga na kina Chebukati. Yeye ndo alileta Chebukati pale. So he's a guy ambaye always amefocus for election. Even sasa ukimwangalia utampata is a guy ambaye amefocus for election ya 2027. So for us to win this war, as much as we don't love these guys, we need also to find people who can strategize for us how we can take power from these people. Kwa sababu the moment tunasema tukae alafu economy endelee kuanguka hivyo, country endelee kuanguka, itaanguka. But si tukienda kwa election in Kenya, election does not count. Hata upige Raila kura upige kura 100%, ataibiwa bado, na ule mtu ambaye anataka kuchukua atapewa hiyo kura. So si at election ina count. Sahi no one want to associate himself with this government ambayo ni KK. But now tukienda kwa election sahi tena, kama hatujajipanga vizuri, the guy will still take over from us. We need to find people.
Nikuulize Mr. G, nikuulize, unataka tujipange aje? Tujipange because kama huyu mtu unasema amejipanga kuwindi na kuiba, tutajipanga aje kuiba? Ama what do you want us to do? Because I want you to bring out exactly what will be the strategy. Ndio tuko na watu, tumechagua watu ambao ni strategist, na huyu ni mtu ambaye hajui the rule of law, hajui kufanya vitu kulingana na sheria. How do we defeat him? Because for me, I'm telling you, the only thing to defeat him ni revolution. Na hiyo inaweza happen wakati watu hawana mshahara, wakati vitu hazifanyiki. That is the only thing.
Say ni kuwa apart from that revolution,
Yes. Are you there, Mr. G? All right. I think Mr. G has fallen. But before I even come to you, okay, go ahead. Endelea, Mr. G. Sorry.
Okay, nasikika. Okay, I think my network had an issue.
Yes,
Okay, what I was trying to say, yeah, what I was trying to say ni kuwa, look at what happened before election that 2022. Wakati Chebukati alikuwa anakimbia mbio, kuna guys group ambao alikuja wakashika. Uliona vile Ruto alikuwa anapiga kelele. Ruto alikuwa analia ni kama endo ameguzwa, mpaka anaambia Uhuru, wacha kunijaribu. Wacha kunijaribu. Unakumbuka those statements wakati jamaa ameshikwa? Meaning the guy alikuwa amejipanga. What am I trying to say? Sisi tulilala wakati huo, ndo wakati ambao tulikuwa hata Chebukati angehusika, angekuwa kwa hiyo ile. So we start afresh. Everything ambayo inahusika na election iwe inaanza afresh. That is when we can win this thing. Lakini tukiwacha venye timu ilikuwa, hakuna mahali tunaenda. Hata TD Supreme Court. Supreme Court pia ni kitu ambayo imeshikwa tu na Ruto. Still hatuweza succeed. So we have some things about we need to go away with it. Na tuanza fresh. As much as I agree with the SG on the issue of revolution, which works. But now, who can lead that revolution?
All right.
Nani ambaye
Now,
atatusaidia?
I have like 10 minutes to close. I want to play the video of the week if you guys have nothing for now, but I know there is a lot. We haven't looked at Naivasha report, my friend. We had a lot, or rather we have a lot we have prepared for you. So you really want to stick around and subscribe to Kenya News Link and get more content. I can tell you for free, uko ndani kuna vitu nzuri zina happen. Subscribe to to Kenya News Link and make sure you grow with us. All right, this is the newest channel. Today was our first show, you can imagine, and I am really grateful for you guys, for the love, for the support. Asante sana. I'm just but a grateful person. Thank you so much for making this channel your number one. This is only happening because you guys asked for it. Hapa ndipo, hapa ni nyumbani, hapa unakaribishwa wewe popote ulipo. Akina SG wanapatikana hapa ndani, akina Mr. G wanapatikana wapi? Hapa ndani. Alex anapatikana hapa ndani, Makiadi anapatikana hapa ndani. Wapi? Hapa ndani. Nakwambia Julia wako hapa ndani, wengi wako hapa ndani wadau. Hapa ndipo, hapa ni home. Alright, whether wewe ni Azimio, whether wewe ni wa Kenya Kwanza, whether wewe ni Mkenya ambaye hata hausupport any of this, hapa ndipo. Hapa wapi? Hapa home. Hapa Kenya News Link. This is where you belong. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Kimbia to subscribe. Fanya ile kitu subscribe. Asante for the numbers that are growing. Thank you for being part of Kenya News Link. Asante sana Mtembei for partnering with us equally again to help this beautiful new baby grow. All right, so tunashukuru sana wewe ambaye unatutazama. Asante. Hii channel ni ndio hiyo wadau, ndio tu imeanza leo, imekuwa show ya kwanza. Tunashukuru sana. Thank you for the love, for the support. We are just but grateful. We have enough content coming your way. We are now putting our house in order. You can be assured to get enough quality and epic shows here in Kenya News Link. Kuna jina bado hajatoka lakini itatoka. Itatoka, all right? I know because you have seen me elsewhere, but here now, this is home. Here, this is home. Yeah, if you want really to support us, do so by subscribing to Kenya News Link. Hapa ndipo, hapa home. Wapi? Hapa home. Asante sana wengi ambao wamesubscribe, nimeona mmefanya hivyo. Na muona Mohamed, asante, niliona ukisubscribe. Thank you so much Mohamed Edge, asante. Kenya Rebel unasema keep up the good work, thank you very much, asante, subscribe. Geoffrey Ruto, asante sana, subscribe pia, asante. Thank you many of you ambao mmetuma ujumbe. Thank you for the many subscribing. All right, it's the newest kid in town, so ukimwona numbers zake ziko chini, ndio ameanza. Leo ndio show ya kwanza, lakini kuanzia leo kuendelea shows zile mtapata hapo burudani kamili, vitu safi, vitu moto, vitu poa, vitu maridadi. All right, vitu ambavyo pia vimelabeliwa. I'm telling you, to get our t-shirts, there are many, utazipata tu hapa Kenya News Link, zitakuwa zinapatiano na kuambia. I'm telling you, wadau wa hapa Kenya News Link wanafanya mambo. So kimbia hapo subscribe, utajiangukia vitu safi kama t-shirt kama hii kali man. Nakwambia hii ukitokea nayo mtaani wasiona ku alright. So kimbia hapo, subscribe na utafanya ile kitu na our very able team. Kimbia hapo, tunafanya vitu kali, vitu moto, vitu interesting, vitu maridadi. Equally let me appreciate wale ambao wamelike hii video kama Santiago Ogute, asante sana. Biali, asante. Lastborn, I see you. Godfrey Ouma, I see you. Cecile, I see you. Ramathan, I see you. Okay, Benson, I see you. Benson Chisembe, I see you. And many of you ambao mumelike hii video, asante sana. Siwacha tu wrap hii show, lakini tunairap na hii ka video. Kuna ka video kamefanya kitu hapo online na nataka kusikia maoni yenu Mr. G na Mr. SG. Haka kabisa.
Usiniletee unasikia? Allah. Wewe unipe heshima yangu. Hapana. Mungu wewe. Unajua naweza turn around.
Turn tukuone. Turn. Kwani unatishia nani madam? Hata even as we are trained, usicheze hivyo.
Una record na hii bullshit.
Acha.
That's the problem. We've seen everything. No, excuse me, who are you? I'm the property manager. Yes, and you're useless. Put fucking damn cameras that work. Okay? They don't work. Do you know who I am? I don't care who you are. And I don't care who you are. Okay? I don't care who you are. I will fuck you. Wow.
I know thanks. But
who do you think you are?
Thanks. I'm the property manager.
Shut up. Now, let me tell you. You don't know who you're listening to. Put cameras that work. Okay? They don't work. He's just told me in the dark they don't work. Are you the one who's telling my son to be respectful?
Yes.
Because the one.
Stupid.
Yeah, because you are. Do you understand it? Hey. You are fucking stupid.
Jeez.
Yes.
Look who's behaving like a
yeah, stupid. You're calling me a white man. I hate you. It's because my kids are here. Guys. No. You don't disrespect me in front of my kids. I'll kill you. Bring my gun.
Bring my gun. Hiyo nakwambia ilifanya ile kitu kwa mtandao. Well, I tell you. Mr. G, what do you make of that lady?
No, when I listen to her, I think he has a problem. Economy kuwa fake. Wakati economy imekufikisha mahali, those are things about their consequences. Naona ni kama economy imekufikisha mahali because
doing well. That hiyo ni issue na economy manze.
No, but I thought I had rumors kuwa ilikuwa ni issue na mambo na rent. Kuna vinakuwa nadaiwa. That's why everything erupted. So ujue wakati umezoea kupata pesa mzuri alafu economy inaharibika, pesa inakosa kufika, unakuwa na some disorder mahali. Si umeona vile anaongea mpaka anaambia huyo mtu kwa I will fuck you. Mwanamke anakuambia hivyo. So, this is a confusion.
All right, okay. Mr. G, what do you make? Huyu mtu anabonga karibu mnafanana because hata nimesikia anabonga virafu sana. Sorry, not Mr. G, Mr. SG.
Mr. G says it's an economy issue. It is sometimes you can't accept the reality, and the reality is that she is not able to pay rent.
Okay.
Or to meet the need. That's why they are coming there to ask for rent and ask for many other things. And for her, because she still believes in she's still where she was. That's factors, and I don't think that is an issue. I think we could have played the video of Kiptun, our young man who was a hero of Kenya.
Yeah, I want to end with him.
Akaekwa kwa Land Cruiser, badala achukuliwe na chopa apelekwe Kenyatta ama apelekwe Nairobi Hospital just in case apone. Land Cruiser zile mzee ndio anarushwa huko ndani akufe kabisa. To make matters worse, rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya akatoa executive order tengenezewe nyumba ya kimafahari
Najua watu wengi kama sisi tulistuka sana, tukasema kwani hii nyumba itakuwa namna gani? Lazima itakuwa na swimming pool na balcony na iwe na kitu inaitangwa kitchen garden. Lakini kile kitu tumeona imetuhuzunisha sasa kama Wakenya. Kama rais anaweza tengea Kiptu cow shed, tumestuka sana, tumestuka sana. We are worried as a country, kwa sababu hiyo ni nyumba ya ng'ombe ama mbuzi.
I don't know why I'm having fun in guys here tonight, but
rais amejenga nyumba ya kondoo kwa hero na tumejua, but anyway we know that is his capacity, that is kulingana na yeye, hiyo ndio affordable housing, kwa sababu imejengwa na cardboard, carton, umeona makaratasi huko. So it's a shame for the country of Kenya that our record holder and breaker has been build a house using tissue papers and cardboard. So we are appealing to the president, hiyo nyumba ibomolewe, hatuna haraka na nyumba, azikwe tu vizuri, tujengee bibi yake nyumba ambayo iko na corridor, nyumba iko na coffee house nyumba iko na bowling station, nyumba iko na home theater, na nyumba ambayo iko na swimming pool. Hatuna haraka, tunataka Wahiro aishi mzuri, lakini hiyo ni choo, abomoe hiyo kitu. Hiyo sasa hapo hatutasikizana, abomoe hiyo kitu for the sake of the people of Kenya. Yeah, ile pesa wanaiba kila siku ni mingi sana. At least hata wakijinyima mshipi moja, hata akiuza mishipi 3, na hiyo leather jacket 5, yes, na akose kwenda trip 2 tu za USA, hata hii ya Biden akatae kwenda tu, we can have a young man athlete having a good house. Aseme hiyo state visit ya US si lazima itusaidii sisi wa Kenya. Aseme kwa sababu
lakini wanasemanga heri nusu shari kuliko shari kamili. Hakuwa na nyumba hii, hata anajengewa, so don't even appreciate kidogo tu. He didn't have, all right, even if wangejengewa structure ya 2 corners not 4 corners, it is half a loaf.
But yes, what was promised na ile ambayo imekuwa delivered, there are 2 different things. So I don't think if we can appreciate what we are seeing. We cannot appreciate what we are seeing. It's a very shameful thing. Ile structure,
is it not necessary?
Okay, sawa, tunakubali, but now if you promise somebody something, I think deliver that thing, or at least karibu na hapo. Don't promise us 7 unatupatia heri. So the structure you cannot compare with what he promised. Ile ni kitu kingine, hata Mr. SJ amesema ni kama structure ya kuku, inaweza kuwa ni kweli.
Okay, mimi wacha niseme hiyo ni maoni ya hawa ambao wananisaidia hapa kwa show leo. Sisi kama Kenya Newslink tuna appreciate all the efforts from all over, all right? Maoni yangu ni ya kwamba ni nusu shari. He didn't have, hakuwa nayo, amejengewa. Hata kama angejengewa a 2 corner house, ni hao, sio? Ni hao, hata kama it is a shanty or a nice house, he didn't have, all right? They are now counting that there is a structure in their compound. Maybe something that some will complain about, but hey, it's there, all right? So that was the video.
But yes, at least the picture, when you promise somebody something, alafu una produce such picture, inaonyesha who you are. So that structure shows us what UDA is and what the president is. So
but really,
iko sawa, tunajua sana nani hao.
But if houses are showing what UDA are and what UDA is, what are those houses that have been constructed elsewhere, which are some are really fantastic? They are looking very good.
No, what I'm trying to say, Nikua, I'm trying to compare the promise. When you promise somebody something, I like what you deliver shows who you are. You know, when they promise a house, they promise a good house. Yeah, they promise a bungalow, a good house. But what they delivered is what they have been telling us. Kumbuka the promises amekuwa tangu last year, tangu the other year before election, the good promises, but what he delivers is something opposite. Hata unashangaa kama mtu alikuwa anatuambia akiwa na akili ama nini mbaya.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we come to the end of the show. We will do this tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we have another interesting one happening here live at Kenya News Digital. Here we do it this way, and we will do it in even more comprehensive way. Thank you for being part of this. We will definitely have many other panelists coming on board. Today was day one, and we shall have more of us coming on board to really give you detailed conversation. There are new shows coming in. There are new videos, short videos, nice ones coming in of topical issues, of news making headlines, of interesting content hapo ambazo zinakutokea, zinakupata ukiwa hapo ndani ya Kenya Newslink. Kisha umesubscribe na umekuwa miongoni mwa hii familia kubwa. Hapa ndipo, hapa ni home. All right? Asante sana. Na kuona Geoffrey Ruto uko ndani. There's something you said, I didn't know what you mean. You said no thank you. I didn't know what you were saying no thank you to. But I equally like what you have said, that understand the Kalenjin tradition, 7 days was enough to build a good house. Okay, interesting. There's nothing to laugh about. That is, you're referring to what Mr. SG has said, and I think umejaribu kuelezea that there is nothing good that Mr. Kamau sees. Mr. SG, unaambiwa there is nothing good you see about Kenya Kwanza. Everything is negative. All right, asante sana. Namuona Mr. Muhammad asema keep on keeping on. Asante sana. Kenya Rebel, asante pia. Na wengi ambao mmecomment. Thank you very, very much. You guys are just but amazing. Hapa ni Kenya Newslink, hapa ni home. Hapa ni home pa wewe kujinais na kuhave interesting show. Alright, subscribe to Kenya Newslink. Wacha hii iwe channel yako ya kukupa vitu kama hizi na zingine nyingi. Subscribe. Let us make this your #1 channel. Hii ni channel yako, channel mpya. Channel imeanza leo, channel mbichi kabisa kabisa. Show hii ikiwa ya kwanza, na asante sana. Show hii ikiwa ya kwanza. We really love what you guys have done to us, and we really like what you have done to us, and asante sana. Asante sana CK Njilu for liking the video, na wengi ambao pia mumelike hii video. Zaidi ya yote, subscribe. Kimbia hapo YouTube. All right, kimbia hapo YouTube. Subscribe to Kenya Newslink. Subscribe to Kenya Newslink. Enda tu hapo kwa search bar, tafuta Kenya Newslink, subscribe. Tafuta Kenya Newslink hapo, alafu subscribe. See you tomorrow. All right, with another epic show. Tomorrow I'll have a new song for you, new stuff for you. So keep it here, keep it locked. Hapa Kenya Newslink. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. God bless you.